Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Tales on Tap. We hope that you're having a wonderful week so far and a marvelous Tuesday. We are here for the finale of Erelon, A Damned Voyage. It has been too long, I know, but there's been a lot of shit happening recently. I got married, we've been to conventions, we've scheduling D&D things. It's always a challenge, but we're here and we are back. We are missing a player because John decided very selfishly to have a baby. I know, but for the most part, we have you guys here. Hello!
Woo! Oh, hello, everyone.
How are you all? You okay?
Doing good.
Amazing. So, yeah, we are joined again by some wonderful guests. You're going to get to meet them, and they're going to tell you all about themselves in just a moment. But before that, we are going to do a few quick announcements. Now, I know that there's some Tales on Tap, not only fans, but players in the chat, so forgive me. This could go, and I said this to the players before, one of two ways, either really well or really, really bad. So buckle up, people, because it could go either way. So... we have got wonderful sponsors on this channel. We have got Valkyrie RPG, who sell all things D&D, including dice, apparel, terrain, RPG systems, the lot. Head over to valkyrie-rpg.co.uk, use Tales10 at checkout and get 10% off store-wide purchases, apart from subscription boxes. We are also sponsored by Awfully Queer Heroes. If you like queer and queer-accessible content and RPG systems and adventure systems and things, then go and check them out. They're over at Drive-Thru RPG. You can find all of their resources there, but they also now have a website. So type in Awfully Queer Heroes into Google and you will find them. Go and support them as well. And if we get to some combat, which is probably inevitable with it being a finale, right, guys?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah,
Nah,
cool.
not possible.
Not
Have
doing
you
it.
met me?
Yep. But if we do, then the Battlemaps used will be from Tom Kartos Battlemaps. You can find them also on Google for all of your tabletop needs. You can buy them in physical and digital versions. So if you play virtually or on tabletop, you have everything you need for combat, including maps, tokens, and more. So go and check them out. So we are obviously on all social media platforms. If you've checked us out on Instagram recently, you'll know that we were at the UKGE last weekend, which is the UK Games Expo, and we met loads of wonderful people there. We literally pumped so much content out on that platform over the weekend. It was ridiculous. That was probably the most posts we've done on a social media platform in a long time, but it was worth it because we got to meet loads and loads of people. We interviewed a load of folks, and all that video content will be coming to your faces very, very soon once we get through the 148 gigabytes worth of video. Yeah, there's lots of work that needs to be done. Not only that, you can follow us all over social media. We're on Twitter, Instagram, we're on Facebook, we're all over the place, so go check us out and we'll keep up to date with all the latest Tales on Tap things. But if you don't like social media, because some people don't, then we have something new to announce. We are now a staple on the internet. So if you go to talesontap.co.uk, you will find our brand new website where you can find a load of information about us, the cast, Erelon itself, the schedules on there, the latest videos, the latest podcast episodes, everything you need, and more on our brand new website. So go check that out as well. Also coming up in the near future, we have a lot planned. So we have got the new Sins of the Peacekeepers campaign kicking off on July the 2nd. So that is because, selfishly, I'm having a baby also. God damn. So I get to be a player. Chris is going to take the helm here at Tales on Tap, and we're going to kick into a brand new campaign. There is going to be more on that coming very, very soon, so keep a weathered eye on the horizon for all that. For all that information and more, check out the dungeon down below, because all the links to all the things are there. Cool. I think that was very successful, guys.
It was very good indeed.
One way or another,
Could have certainly gone worse.
It definitely could have done. But enough about us here at Tales on Tap. I want to know more about you guys. So, joining us tonight is Miko. Now, Miko, you have joined us on this channel a few times now, but for those of you who have never seen your face before, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself, where you're from, where we can find more of your content, please?
Certainly. Quite a lot has changed, actually, since I've been on this channel. I got a dog recently, and they are cute and adorable, and their name is Sparrow, and they are deaf, and I love them. But other than that, yes, We have a lot going on over at Folk and Myth, which I am a co-founder of. You can find out pretty much everything you need to know about Folk and Myth over at folkandmyth.com, or check out our socials. We're pretty much Folk and Myth everywhere. And yeah, we've got all kinds of games going on. We're actually a little bit light like the rest of this month. We've got 5 games, I think, coming up in the next 8 days, but after that it's way less the rest of the month. We're kind of front loading June and we're getting through the rest, but we've got charity games coming up. We're running Blade Runner, we're running Dragon's Bane, we're my ongoing D&D campaign, and all kinds of cool stuff coming up later in the month as well. So Vason is in there, I think, next Monday as well. Yeah, so please check us out, and we'd love to have you joining us. It is worth mentioning, though, because I am the only far westerner here.
Yep.
That we're on a little bit later time than most of the viewers here. But if you do find yourself, like many of us, staying up late at night, feel free to join us.
Amazing. Thank you very much, and thank you once again for joining us, Miko. I feel like if this continues, we might have to just make this a staple, and you might have to talk to your wife about changing shift patterns to get you on the channel full time. But I mean, we would love that, but we'll see how that goes. Hey, Miko,
we'll see.
Time for Dan's special question. We've not done this in a while, but I'm curious.
No, we haven't.
You've been playing TTRPGs for a while. What was the first one you started with?
So the very first TTRPG that I ever played was D&D, but I don't like to count that because it was absolutely the worst experience of my life. I was, how old was I? I was 12 when that happened, and my game master was 13, and we sucked. Just pointing that out. We were young boys playing advanced edition D&D, and we sucked. So that only lasted like 2 sessions, and that doesn't count. Shortly thereafter, however, I got to play an awesome game also by TSR known as Top Secret, which was like an international spy game. And my game master for that was my world history teacher in school. And if you ever want to play a really awesome, like modern game, have it be from a world history teacher, because it was amazing. I got to be an MI6 agent in a team of like people from all over the world playing as members of different intelligence organizations, and I had an absolute blast. So, that was me.
That sounds amazing. Wow. Okay, Chloe, follow that, man. Chloe,
I'll just leave now.
Welcome to the stream. First and foremost, why don't you tell everybody a little bit about yourself, where we can find your content, and say hello and all that kind of fun stuff.
Hello everyone, I'm Chloe, or Chloe with the flow, pretty much everywhere. I'm an actor. I do so many different things and wear so many different hats. Primarily, you can find me on the podcast Deck of Many Aces, which is the only actual play podcast made with actual asexuals. So it's very queer and very gay, and it's great. And yeah, I play Tabaxi Bard / Rogue on that. We started out and I was like, I'm the healer, cool, okay. And then I multiclass into Rogue, and now we have very little healing, but it's fine. And I also write all of the music for the show. So all of the music you ever hear on that is all written by me. And I literally had a conversation with one of the other members the other day where I was like, damn, that's quite a lot of music for 3.5 years. So yeah, you can listen to the music out on music streaming platforms as well. I'm also on a Rendezvous with Destiny, which is another podcast where we look at lesser known TTRPGs. Right now we are playing Bite Marks, and we're very nearing the end of this campaign actually, because we're planning a super secret third campaign, which is very exciting, but I don't think we've publicized anything about that yet, so I can't say anything.
Don't
so, yeah.
Chat, say nothing. Your lips are sealed. That's a super secret thing that you've just heard there.
Yeah, secrets.
Amazing.
Yeah, and right now I'm also on Bowies and Spelljammer, which is over on the Roleplay Factory on YouTube, where we're all playing different versions of David Bowie, but it's in space, and it's as crazy as it sounds. I played the Goblin King, And I learned how to do all of that makeup, which was really fun, but also took me a really long time.
Amazing. Absolutely amazing.
So yeah, it's so fun. So go check that out if you like to see faces, because then that's not a podcast. Yeah, I think that's pretty much. I always remember something else like hours in, and I'm like, oh yeah, there's that thing as well. But that's the main thing.
Amazing.
That's me.
Thank you very much for joining us for the finale once again, Chloe. It's a pleasure having you here. But what I want to know, and I'm sure the people at home want to know, is when you got into the realms of TTRPGs, what was the first ever character that you created? Can you tell us a bit about them?
Oh my gosh, my heart. Yes, the first. So. Yeah, I started playing D&D with some of my friends from uni during lockdown, and none of us knew how to play D&D, and we were mostly ignoring the rules. So it was basically just a glorified improv session, because we're all actors.
Nice.
And so I made a druid. Her name was Isha Ravenswind. She was a human druid because I wanted to be a wood elf, but somebody else was already a wood elf druid. And so I was like, cool, I'll be a human druid instead. Totally, completely different. And she started out being a very sort of like quiet and character. She was like the moral compass of the party. And then very slowly, all because I changed my online username, because it used to be Eldritch Witch and it's now Chloe with the Flow. And one of my friends went, I'm going to make you a subclass based on your old username to commemorate a momentous occasion. And I was like, I play a druid. So he made me an Eldritch Witch subclass, which is all like from, you can like god shape into aberrations and stuff, and you can use warlock spells. And basically everything is just really dark and upsetting now. So I purposely put her on a very dark path. So she's like gradually getting darker and darker and like torturing people because of some revenge thing that she's got going on. So she ended up being completely different, and we never actually finished that campaign, sadly. But now I'm still not quite all the way through Baldur's Gate 3, and she's the character that I'm playing, so that's fun.
Amazing. Amazing. You always remember your first as well, don't you? Everyone around this table, we all remember our first. Love that. Yes. Thank you very much. Jordan, hello.
Hello.
How are you? I know that you asked me to try and like come to you last because you were dying at home, but how are you doing?
I'm so tired. My hay fever kicked in 2 hours ago, so I'm currently waiting on 2 different antihistamines to kick in. But other than that, we're here. We've got dice in front of us. It's great.
Amazing. Why don't you tell everyone at home where you're from, what it is you do, all that kind of fun stuff?
Of course. So I'm from Modified Role. I'm DM, producer, editor. For all of that good stuff. We are currently running a series of guest episodes, so you get to hear some of the lovely people who appear on Actual Play UK. One of them's currently in the room with us right now. We've got people we've got a couple more games being sort of scheduled and arranged still, with more guests coming on. Just gonna be a couple of series of little, again, similar to this one, stuff that was styled as a one shot and is slowly turning into 3 or 4 sessions every time. We've got a load of those coming up, so it's a good time if you've not picked us up before, because you can hear a little bit of our cast and a little bit of all the other UK based talent that we like to show off. Speaking of, I'm also one of the founders and organisers for Actual Play UK. And it's funny you talking about this weekend being like the most social media posts you put out, because our socials for Actual Play UK up until very recently tended to just be announcements for streams. Then we had the very lovely Nick stepped up from Rogue Octopus Games, and he's now handling our Twitter. I still handle the Instagram, so we put out a few interviews over the weekend. So we also put out some of the most social media content we've done over a very long time. There was also somebody else in this room I saw liking almost every reel. That's right, Ruth, you're seen. Yep. Which was very kind.
I did notice the uptick in activity.
Yes, your noticing was noticed. It was very kind. It was nice to see people actually watching the stuff we were putting out, especially because I borrowed a pair of lapel mics from my other half. She runs a theatre review blog. She does interviews with people. Turns out they're very good at like an intimate setting. But if you take them onto a convention floor where there's just a ton of noise, it just muffles everything. So pretty much every video we put out was just recorded on a phone with no additional microphones. So they are not great quality, but hey, it was our first time doing it. I will be better prepared next time.
Amazing. So Jordan, you're a professional DM, right?
I am, yes.
Yeah, so what I would like to know, and I'm sure the people at home would like to know, is in the realm of professional DMing, what has been your fondest memory?
So with a lot of the professional DMing, obviously I do run like a couple of long form games, but a lot of them are like one shots for events. And for the one shots for events, you want to like set them up to have like epic moments. You want to give them that opportunity because they're paying for a game. They want to come in. You want to give them something epic. Obviously, usually within the bounds of the rules. Sometimes you maybe flex the rules a little bit. I got invited to run a game for a stag party in Birmingham. It was a ton of fun. I had come up with a concept which was going to be that the party were essentially going to be handed blank character sheets with nothing but their name on it and their equipment. The idea being that the party in the game had also been on a stag do the night before and were currently suffering a very bad hangover and had no memory. They had to fill in their character sheet by trying stuff.
That's so good.
They could also, like, in between like downtime and stuff, they could roll to like make constitution checks or wisdom saving throws to try and get more stuff back so they could fill the sheets in quicker. Because obviously in a one shot, I don't want them getting to the end and not having all their information. But by the end, my favorite part was, and this was actually a suggestion from one of the other professional DMs, we did a very much a dude, where's my car bit, where between they were in a coliseum, they were like fighting through like a rounds of a coliseum, and in between rounds when they were getting like ready for the next fight, one of them notices that the other guy has like a massive tattoo appear like poking out from underneath his like leather armor, and he takes the armor off, and it's, as one of the guys from the chat suggested to me, their literal backstories are tattooed on their back. So it's like, it's going to be this big flowery sort of like rendition of all of their accolades as an adventurer, and it helps them to like very quickly get back a bunch of like their baseline statistics. But my favorite bit was towards the end. The final encounter was with a wyvern, and for special occasions, I guess I always do a special. In this case, it was the stag inspiration. Every player at the table starts the game with inspiration, but they can only spend it on the stag to allow him to re-roll. The stag also gets a special inspiration. He can at any point choose to get a natural 20 on one roll. But I also hand him one of the gold D20s I was gifted from DN Dice, and if he rolls that and gets a natural 20, I will do something insane. Okay. In the final fight with the wyvern, nobody has expended their inspiration yet. The wyvern doing what it does best, making flyby attacks, flying down, hitting them, flying up, so they're only trying to hit it with ranged attacks. The stag is playing a melee character, the best man is playing a melee character, so the best man looks at me and goes, "Can I throw him at the wyvern?" I said, "Abso-fucking-lutely." So, of course, he picks him up. I tell him the DC ahead of time. He picks him up, he throws him, doesn't get it. So one of the other guys is like, "Can I expend my stag inspiration on this?" "Yes, you can." Everyone goes around the table. So he gets his natural 20. That should say as well, the stag said, "I'm going to roll my natural 20 to hit." I was like, perfect. But you're still being thrown in the air at this wyvern, so this is still going to be like, you're not going to do a lot of damage here. You might just get it to the ground, but they're all like, let's see if we can get the natural 20. None of them get it. Like, they all roll their d20s, nothing happens, but it gets back to me, and I say, "Tell you what, it's your stag do. Have one on me." Fucker rolled a natural 20. So I described it as the best man picking the stag up and just bodily throwing him at this wyvern, and he just like sort of flew at it with his sword out, cut the wyvern's head off, and at the apex of the throw in slow motion just looks down, gives a thumbs up, and then plummets 60 feet back to the ground and falls unconscious.
Amazing. Thank you so much. That's just cheered me up no end. And I really love that concept of like the stag inspirations. Great. Thank you very much.
I always have my little 3D printed skull. That's the tray I always use for it. They get a gold D20 and I have to roll it in the skull.
Love that.
Theatrics.
Love that. So, thank you very much again, Jordan. This is the finale. Hopefully this isn't going to be the last time that we see any of you on this stream. We're going to get you back at some point over the next few years and get you joining in with all the fun and capers. But somebody that doesn't usually sit on this side of the screen and usually sits in the Twitch chat very regularly is Ruth. Hi, Ruth. How are you?
Hello, I'm all right. I thought for a second you were going to say in the cheap seats.
Nope. I would not dishonor you like that at all. So, also, welcome in. This is the third session that you've been with us?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Three sessions now.
Amazing. And I have put... So, Chris very kindly reminded me that I forgot to change the title of the stream. So we just went live as Errol on a Destined Journey, but that's now been updated, so that's fine. But I have put that it's the finale. So guys, before we go any further, this is the finale. No matter where it ends, it ends.
Oh.
So
You say that now.
I know. So Ruth, why don't you tell everybody a little bit about yourself, and obviously we can, and anything that you do online, just plug away.
Yes, I'm Ruth. I'm a Falconer occasional streamer now, regular player of D&D. As we were discussing in the chat before the stream started, bit of a dice dragon. I have a few sets. That kind of came out how many there are. Mostly active on, when I am active on Instagram, Arlegate Falconer. So there'll just be bird stuff and nerdy stuff posted there. Occasionally pictures of the amazing pizzas from my local pizza van, just to make everyone really tempted. And I got to meet most of the very lovely Tales on Tap team at UK Games Expo as well, which was amazing. And am I allowed to say about the shirt, or
You can
are you
show it.
saving
Yeah,
that for
no.
proper announcement?
You go ahead. Why don't you go ahead?
These guys are working on merch, and it is so comfy. This is a prototype. There are. Yeah, I'm very, very honoured to be one of the
Two.
rare and exclusive people outside.
I was going to say,
It's
you're
a
in a
very
very
exclusive
select
party
group.
of
I've seen the
people.
photo. You're in a very select group.
Yeah, there is two people in the
Yep.
world. Apart from Tales on Tap crew, there are two people in the world that have exclusive prototype merch. One being our lovely Ruth, and the other being Luke Gygax. So a very, very exclusive group of people. But obviously, welcome in again, Ruth. I'm hoping that this isn't the last we see of you either. We're hoping to get you in on some more content later down the line.
Yeah.
But
We'll
what
organise something.
What I would like to know is, obviously being a long-term D&D fan, is what is your favourite D&D class to play and why? And let us all judge you if it's the incorrect choice, because there is only one correct answer.
Well, I have actually played, aside from Bloodhunter, every single class.
Okay.
So I am, in 9 years, I have managed to play a few different characters. I have to admit, I'm quite fond of barbarians and druids. Just because everyone has an assumption about both classes, and you can have a lot of fun with them. I have yet to play an actually angry barbarian.
Amazing.
So I just find that you can have a lot of fun with story with them. You can be creative with your abilities with them.
I love
And
that.
they're quite versatile.
Yeah.
Is this
I
what
mean,
cutting Ruth off for picking the wrong class, though?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's okay to be wrong, Ruth. That's fine. Everybody does every now and again. But no, I love that's your favourite class, and welcome in again. Dan, last
Yes.
but not least, but I leave you last and not least because people
I'm
see you all
always
the
here.
time. Exactly.
Yeah,
So,
that's fine.
but why don't you tell everyone at home a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, so I'm Dan. I am Old Hat. I have been here since the beginning, and I will be here till the end. My content is this content, so come to Tales on Tap and all the places where we do things related to this stream and stuff, because I might be there, I might not, but I'll always be around. Yeah,
Amazing.
I'm just old player.
Love that.
Old player.
Thank you very much. And what I would like to know, and I'm sure everyone at home would like to know, is Dan, what is your shoe size?
Depends what I'm buying. It's usually a 10.5. Sometimes it stretches to an 11 if it's a particularly... If it's like
Fantastic.
Converse, I need to go larger. If it's like Vans, I can sort of go a bit smaller. It's fine.
Amazing. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you for
It's all
sharing
right,
with the
it's
group.
fine, man.
Perfect. Well, that about wraps up all the announcements for this evening and all the introductions. So, should we get to the D&D segment of tonight's session? Should we kind of
Is
kick
that
on
what
and
we're
play
here
some
for?
D&D?
Yeah.
If
Yeah.
we have to.
I mean, sure, if you insist.
Cool. So, we're going to get into that. Sure. If you haven't already, go and get yourselves comfortable, go get your drinks, do what you need to do, because we're about to dive into a very special finale of an episode on Tales on Tap, I think that's what it's called.
Tales on Tap.
Chris, Chris, he took it to town. So this is the bit where we usually cut to a single person and they recount the events of the previous episode, but not tonight. What we're going to do is we're going to do a bit of a round table, guys. So we're at the finale. What has happened so far? So, Jordan, why don't you start? And you can tell us where we started this adventure.
I believe we start. Wait, do you mean the whole adventure or the last session?
Yeah. No, the whole adventure.
All of it. Okay, I can do that. That's fine. We started off on a ship that was going a place. I'm going to apologize because I genuinely can't find the notebook I had all my original notes in.
Okay.
So this is all genuinely off the dome. We were on a ship. We had been commissioned to go and guard the ship, take it to a location. Do apologize, can't remember the location. We had the captain of the ship who seemed like a bit of a wet blanket. And then all of a sudden, we got picked up in a storm. The ship started to fall apart. Whether or not this was caused by Jeremiah's tinkering, we will never know, because at that point, we were then beset by pirates. Yep. Sky pirates, to be exact. And then, for some reason, Dan was shocked when we decided that with the description of our ship going down, we opted to steal the pirate ship instead of staying on a sinking ship. So we all boarded the enemy ship, sort of confusing them greatly because they had just been trying to board us, and then proceeded to kick the shit out of them until we took control of the ship. We then... I'm just going to keep going until Dan tells me to stop.
No, that's fine. That's good.
Yeah.
Before we do obviously move on to somebody else, could you tell us who you are playing this evening and give us a general description of your character, please?
I am playing Halvard Hazy Grimfall, Hazy to his friends or anyone he speaks to. I am playing a Grave Domain cleric, and I am following Baron Samdi, one of the Loa of the Haitian voodoo sort of beliefs. So a little bit of that coming to the fore in the last session. But yeah, heavy smoking, heavy drinking, heavy healing. That's the way he rolls.
Love that. Thank you very much. So, Chloe, what else can you tell us about that first episode? Anything else interesting happen?
Well, I believe we were surrounded by the pirates, and we were like, yeah, we're gonna fight them. That's gonna be fine. And then I think it was Illy came up with the smart idea to pretend to be a siren or somebody. It might have been me. I can't remember. So we managed to scare the pirates into thinking that Illy was a scary siren and that if they attacked us, she would crash their ship or something along those lines.
Amazing. Yeah, pretty much that. So, Chloe, why don't you tell us who you're playing this evening, name, give us a brief description, and what they're about?
I'm playing Jeremiah Scratch, who uses he/they pronouns, and is a kobold, a little red kobold, is an artificer, carries a gun at all times, uses it for literally everything. It's quite alarming. And Jeremiah is the captain now, and is also just generally quite he's definitely a tinkerer, but also gets very mad if anyone messes with their tinkering. And maybe doesn't necessarily know what the best thing is to do with the tinkering. They're very smart. They just do what they feel like, and sometimes that doesn't work out so well.
Amazing. Thank you very much. Miko, what happened next?
I genuinely don't know everything that happened next, but I do remember a few key, what I feel to be very important details. And I'm sorry, but I feel I must correct my clerical friend in that Jeremiah's tinkering absolutely saved us in that experience. Hence, them being voted to become the captain now. Because without that prior experience, I don't know if we could have trusted Jeremiah, but I feel we can now. But I also remember distinctly my very dear friend, my pseudo-dragon familiar Benny, saving a cat, because that was important.
Yeah.
We have a cat
Ship's
on
cat.
board. You
Yep.
you must have a ship's cat.
Would have been a
and I
bad omen
certainly-
otherwise.
Exactly, and I wasn't going to allow that to go unattended. And Grim, the dwarven warlock that I am playing, also helped to stage the mutiny on this new ship that we have taken over by actually feeding the crew and giving them good meals and making them feel good about the experience. And then everyone looking at Grim after a certain puzzle prophecy became revealed to us. The captain the captain of the pirate ship that was perhaps overplaying their hand a little bit and doing what most villains do, monologuing to us and giving us way too much information. And then everyone looking at Grim for what to do next, and Grim blasting him to bits with Eldritch Blast. So yeah,
Amazing.
those are the details that I remember.
Fantastic. Can you give me a brief description of what Grim looks like, please?
Yeah, so Grim is fairly tall for a dwarf, stocky, stalwart. He's an old white beard with, bald head, and he has eyes that are gray and kind of swirl with the storm of chaos within them.
Fantastic. Thank you very much. Hey, Dan.
Hey, Dan.
Do you remember much from what happened in the last 2 episodes? If so, why don't you share with the group?
What do I remember us doing? We took over. We lost one ship, took over another one. Kind of blagged the entire crew that we're more important than we are, as most D&D parties do. Murder the captain in cold blood, just because we could. Threw him out the window, I believe.
You did as well, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Took over the ship.
I took
and
his hat.
At its finest.
We trained the crew to be not the pale, sort of disheveled crew we found, but turn them into true pirates of the sky with good meals and training and all that kind of stuff. And I did nothing to help any of that because I wanted to search the ship for good stuff. So I did do that, and then I found all the magic items that we now possess among us.
Amazing. Thank you
And
very
yeah.
much. Amazing. Why don't you tell us who you're playing? Give us a brief description.
Yes, so I am playing Haystack, the Swarm Keeper Ranger, who is a man of the bees and a bee of the men. He is a complete enigma, a mystery unto himself and everyone around him. He is my first attempt at trying to be one of those characters that just does what they feel like doing and being a bit chaotic. So he is just a huge mop of blonde hair, bees and robes that will fire arrows at you
Nice.
or steal your stuff.
Amazing. And last but certainly
Usually
not least,
both.
Ruth, is there any important details that we're missing?
Well, one, we didn't murder the captain in cold blood. We were actually following the prophecy that he had told us about, because it did specifically have the line in it, "Heed my words, for treachery lurks where the brave are starved," and he had been starving his crew. So we stabbed him a lot. But he didn't know where he was going, but he was searching for treasure in the home plane of Zephyron. We were looking for the Isle of the Astrals, and we had a map, and we used moonlight to get coordinates and worked out that this was a migratory, storm-shrouded island. Jeremiah's the captain. Our first mate is the old captain, who still has no name. We renamed the ship the Siren's Gale. It does have a self-destruct rigged on it in case any more pirates try and attack us.
Yep.
That was me.
We were approaching the Isle of Salastra, and we saw dark clouds ahead. The crew are fully backing our plan to sail into this storm to get to the
Willingly.
Isle of the Astrals. Yeah, the crew are with us on this, and
Like
we
they have a
headed onward
choice.
into the storm. We've fed them and been nice to them. They like us. And it's taking longer to pass through than the size of the clouds suggested it would. So the last note I had is not where we were, or perhaps even where we want to be, but we are where we are. Our course is set.
Amazing. And could you describe your character for us,
That
please, and
was-
tell us who you're playing?
I am Illy Calder. She's the quartermaster, or was the quartermaster. She is a Shadakai bard rogue, which I like to refer to as a kill and cure build. As we did actually manage to pull off, I managed to take someone out with my action and bonus action heal somebody. And that is basically what she's there to be, is one way or the other she will protect her crew and make sure they have what they need.
Amazing. Thank you very much.
Illy's the only smart one.
The jury's still out.
I'm smart. I'm just drunk most of the time.
You're smart, you just debuff yourself.
Certain characters supplied with rum and cigars. Some of them like oranges and some of them like beets. And some of them like random mechanical parts.
That they do.
And just for the record, I think there's one very important part of information that we did overlook there, which something we did discuss off stream previously, is that Hazy is tied to the ship this time.
Yep.
Everyone is tied to the ship because that is a thing we do, is we tie ourselves on when a storm appears and we tie all the crew on.
Well,
yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are plummeting through this ferocious storm cloud. All of you tied to various parts of the ship rocking and jutting as the air pressure around you dips and fades as you kind of like feel the ship beneath your feet just kind of sway as it makes its way through. You are in the thick of it. There is blackened cloud and the crack of lightning echoing all around you. Nothing in front. As you cast your eyes to the bow of the ship and look out across the horizon, there is seemingly nothing but darkened clouds. Is there anything anybody would like to do at this moment as you feel this immense pressure start to build in each and every one of you?
I think I'm just holding on for dear life at the side of the ship, just like...
Okay.
How sort of thick are the clouds here? Is a perception check going to do absolutely nothing here, or would that be worth trying to make?
I would say it is quite dense. There's not a lot that you're going to be able to pick out at this moment in time. I wouldn't want to make a roll because it's going to be extremely hard for you to beat given the level and things you are. But due to the density of it, it is so heavy and laid in that as you are passing through, if you were to be near the stern of the ship at the back, near where the where the helm of it is, and look towards the front, it is even hard to see that far.
In which case, I just light a cigar.
Yeah. Anybody else?
Looking at Hazy's cigar in this maelstrom, which direction is the smoke going when we look at it? So which way is the wind direction going?
Fantastic. So you, if I believe, were in the crow's nest last time we left off.
I can be there, sure.
I'm going to ask you to make me a perception check because of how thick and dense this cloud is.
Perception. Okay, that's not bad. It's a 13.
A 13. It's hard to tell, but as you kind of look down, it generally just as it kind of comes off the edge of the cigar, just kind of spirals and goes in all different directions. There's no current of airflow in any way. If anything, it's going a little bit back towards Hazy as he blows out, but that might just be due to the ship heading in the direction it is.
Okay. Looking at so then looking at the sails, just the general motion of the ship itself, there doesn't seem to be any sort of list or wind direction that it seems to drag into predominantly as we are just flying directly through what is essentially a maelstrom. There's no turn to it. It's not like we're in a cyclone and we're just in the one edge. It's
nothing
just
like that. No.
a thing.
Yeah.
Well, shit. Okay. That's all I'm doing for the moment until I figure out how we traverse this.
Okay. Miko, Ruth, is there anything either of you two would like to do?
Yeah, so Grim definitely goes into his little satchel at his side and pulls out some of the tasty treats that he likes to share with his companions, stalks over to Jeremiah and reaches down, takes Jeremiah's hand, and places a honey mead tart within it, which is basically this small, tiny honey flavored tart with like a buttery and flaky crust that is just filled to its center with gooey fruits and fig, all encased inside of this buttery crust. And he says, "I got you, Captain. Don't worry."
Oh, gee, thanks. I guess I'll eat this now.
And just
You're
trying to
supposed-
eat it
yeah,
while like
you-
the wind is buffeting the face and just getting it everywhere.
Shove it all straight up into your mouth there. Yeah, so then you get 6 temporary hit points.
Yay!
Amazing. Illy, is there anything while this is happening, and you kind of like, as where you're positioned on the ship, you see almost instinctly all the crew are now looking at you as a source of inspiration, most with washed, worried looks on their face, most like white in the knuckles, they're holding on for dear life to the balustrades that kind of encompass the surroundings of the ship on the edge, just most holding on, just kind of looking at you for inspiration.
And that is inspiration was along the lines of what I was thinking. I'm going to use a combination of prestidigitation, and unfortunately my flute broke, but I can also play the drum, so I'm going to start using like different parts of the ship and try and start drumming out a suitably jaunty nautical tune, whilst using some of the effects of prestidigitation to just kind of lighten things up and look like we are lit, we are going forward.
Amazing. Go ahead and make me a performance check, please. You can have this with advantage because most of the crew are depending on you at this point, being the siren, so to speak.
This is a 19.
19. You see that there are replacement kind of wooden staves that are used for not only the helm, but that are jammed into some of the wooden parts of the ship to tie ropes to. You see that there are spares in a box nearby, and you quickly go and grab a couple and start on the ship to make this rhythmical beating noise, and it starts to reverberate, giving not only yourself and the crew, but the party will gain inspiration due to this, as you fill yourselves with this rhythmical beating and chanting, and you hear the crew start to hum and sing whatever shanty they brings to mind as you start heading deeper and deeper into this cloud storm. So you all gain inspiration. Mark it on your sheet, please.
Nice. As this drum circle down below starts to form, you just see Haystack in the crow's nest, just like his best what's it called, like hippie festival type dance, just waving and like going around. It's my jam. Oh yeah, we'll be fine.
I get the bravery to like peek over the side, and can I use my magical tinkering to like grab the nearest small thing of no consequence, like a screw or something, and like light it up as bright as I can and just yeet it to see how far we can actually see.
Of course, you woof and just throw it off the side of the ship and watch it fall. It gets to around, you can see it kind of pass down the hull of the ship, and maybe about 10 feet before it just woof, vanishes entirely.
Okay.
As you guys continue on, it is moments pass between this rhythmical drumming, musical, inspirational music that you can hear around you before the ship just pierces through this cloud into wide open space that is calm. And you see that there is cloud all around you, but there is a central hub that is encased around a 500 to 600 feet diameter, with No cloud at all. The winds itself calm. You feel the ship just jut and slowly level itself out and begin to make its way in. But as it does, those of you on the base of the ship looking up, you'll see the sails just slack immediately, as if no wind is caught in it at all, and the ship just begins to slow down. I would like, so Jeremiah, Halvard, Hazy, you guys are towards the helm of the ship. Grim, Illy, I would imagine you are towards the main mast with Haystack on the crow's nest. So I'd like Grim, Illy, and Haystack to roll me a perception check, please.
Is this something I could use my passive for, since I have a 19 passive perception?
It is indeed, yeah, so I'll count that towards your passive, yeah.
Took
Damn
observant for a reason.
I should have gone with my passive.
Okay, Illy, what did you get?
10.
10, Grim?
7.
7 or 11?
7.
7, okay, and Haystack?
6. He's lost in the music.
6, exactly that. Haystack, you are just...
No one's seeing anything.
In fact, the music even, like, drops, but you're just in the moment, and you, in your head, it's still going on. Grim, you kind of, like, are jolted a little bit forward, losing your footing ever so slightly and grabbing hold of the main mast, giving you very little sight of what's ahead. And Illy, as you are, you feel the wind drop, most of the crew just start to cheer and, yeah, the siren got us through the storm, and you're just kind of surrounded almost immediately by this crew who attempt to kind of pick you up and like throw you above them, and you just, oh god. But Hazy, you being the observant one of the crew, look out, and ahead of you, you see this small floating island, but it is tiny. It looks extremely remote. With a 19, you see that there doesn't seem to be much on this island, a few trees, but almost looks like the remains of something. But it is around 200 feet off from the front of the ship, and you see this immediately. As soon as the cloud parts, it almost becomes full central focus for you.
Starting to get Jeremiah's attention, and maybe I've been leaning on the warhammer and it's like gonna hammer it into the ground a couple of times over the sounds of the shouting to get Jeremiah's attention, and just sort of point towards the island. You reckon that's what we're heading for?
Jeremiah like takes a little jump up so they can see over the top. It's like,
Oh, gee, yeah. That looks pretty similar to what I would expect.
I look up and see Haystack still just like flowing in the wind. I was like, Haystack! Straight ahead. Can you see that?
Oh, what? Oh, sorry. Does anyone else feel like we were in that storm for like a month or two? That was really weird. It's been a long time. Yeah, hold on. And from somewhere, I'm going to put out a spyglass, and I'm going to and just look through it and see what I can see.
Amazing. Go ahead and roll me a perception check. You can have advantage because you are using the spyglass.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, we like that. Dirty 20.
Dirty 20. You see that it is a small island made of stone, rock, or something of that kind of mineral. You see that they're as you're approaching towards the right-hand side of the small island, there is what appears to be the remains of what could be a building. It could have been a watchtower or something of that kind. You don't see much else other than maybe 2 or 3 like trees that kind of look weathered, very autumnal colors, but you guys know that it's the height of summer. So this strikes you as mad, but also kind of understandable considering there isn't much earth underneath this small kind of island that's floating there. Jeremiah, I'd like you to roll me a d6, please.
3.
3. As you are all kind of encaptured by this island, you hear as 3 lightning bolts of energy strike the side of the ship, and you all get jotted around. All of you make me dexterity saving throws, please.
God damn it. Do we get advantage for being tied down?
No, but being tied down might affect the result.
That's a natural 1.
Oh,
with
no!
a negative 1 for a 0.
For a 0, okay.
You do have inspiration.
I'm not wasting it on this.
I thought I was bad on a 4.
Okay, Jeremiah on a 4, Illy.
16.
16, Haystack.
23.
23, Grim.
Oh,
3.
all of us.
Oh, okay, Illy, as this... And all of them seem to strike at random parts of the ship. These lightning bolts of energy hit the ship. You manage to grab hold, and one of the crew members wrap their arm around your waist and grab hold of the main mast to keep you in place. Haystack, because you get swayed, you manage to just drop to your knees to get and hit the side of the crow's nest perimeter.
Mm-hmm.
However, Grim, Jeremiah, and Halvard, where you're kind of all perched and this jolt of energy hits, all 3 of you fly. Jeremiah and Grim, you swing off to the left, hit the banister, and drop over the edge, grabbing hold of the rope and dropping to the side of the ship. Only about 10 to 15 feet off the side of the ship, but grabbing hold of the rope. Hazy, you fly off the opposite side, so you fly off to the right, and you grab hold and try to cling onto the ship, but drop. Boof, 20 feet, and are just swinging off the side of the ship. Captain overboard, men! And you see that the ship's crew just start to scatter around the side, but Haystack and Illy, you begin to see the ship just start to lose whatever power and magical energy it was holding to keep it in the air begins to dwindle, and it begins to drop as you approach this island.
I can get around the chicken engine.
You are going to around 150 feet. The previous captain, who we're going to call Cap, because we never named them, so let's just say Cap for now.
Captain Cap.
Yep, Cap just runs and just grabs hold of the helm that is spinning. You see the ship's wheel just start to spin, and they grab it, and their strength is just enough, and as they right the ship, and you all 3, Hazy, Jeremiah, and Grim, begin to swing as they begin to right the ship and hold on. You 3, what would you like to do?
Can I
would
see
like
Hazy
to cast...
on the other side?
Yeah, we're like on the east side of the ship.
Yeah, just kind of like swinging in and out toward each other.
There's just a moment where I'm just like, oh, hey, here we are again.
I would like to
I should probably
cast
do something.
Fly on myself and grab on to Jeremiah under the armpits and fly the 2 of us up to the deck of the ship.
You do so. Woof. Jeremiah, you feel Grim's arm wrap around you, and just woof, you begin to fly up and drop onto the deck of the ship. Poof.
As Haystack watched Hazy fly the other end of the ship, he's just going to sort of stand and go, oh, I think he's always falling off the ship. I need to sort this out. And using my boots of flying, he's going to sprout 2 massive bee wings from his back and just very quiet, just very gently buzz down and just sort of come to like a hover in front of Hayes, like, do you need a hand there, friend, or are you gonna... Okay, that's fine. And yeah, grabbing on, just flying back up.
You do so.
While I'm hanging, just waiting for Haystack to come down, can I have a look, very panicked, but like this isn't the first time I've fallen off a ship. Can I look around and see if I can see any? Now that I'm like below the ship, can I see any indication of where those lightning bolts would have come from?
Make me sure, because of your passive being 19, I'm not going to make you roll. That's high enough.
I was going to say, I think if there was ever time to roll under pressure, like this might be the one.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Yeah, go on. Go ahead and roll me perception. 2 seconds.
It's a 5 + 4 for a 9.
Okay.
I'm too panicked.
just rolling on the side of the ship.
Who needs perception anyway?
Just
Meanwhile,
spinning in place.
Jeremiah's on the deck, like,
Well, I think that Tart's disagreeing with me now.
That's what happens when you get thrown overboard, Captain.
Sorry,
Here, have
apologies.
another one.
Every
I'm-
To
sequel
avoid it in
occurs.
the future.
So, with that roll, Hazy, you do not, but you you kind of just get the impression that this is just sprouted from the clouds as you go in, and it kind of gives you the impression that this is an early defense system or whatever is ahead of you. So, you all managed to get back onto the deck of the ship. Illy, is there anything you would like to do as you're kind of like being held there towards the main mast?
I'll extricate myself from the crew, probably. Does it look like, I know we're losing power and momentum, does it look like we are going to reach the island with the momentum we've got? Or are we going to fall short?
It looks like you could get there, but you might need to do something to try and help yourselves get there.
Also, how small is small? You said the island was very small. Is it small enough that our ship could comfortably land on it? Or is
No, it is smaller than that. Not comfortably. I would imagine because of the size of the ship, you take up maybe 90% of this small island.
We can land.
You could. If you really wanted to,
So
you
there'd
could.
be no land to explore.
Yeah, we wouldn't be able to look. We'd be digging under the ship.
we're only here for the treasure. It's fine.
I'm going to
Need the
start.
crew.
How far from the island are we?
Now, as you are through all this panic, you are around 150 feet away as you're slowly coming to a stop. But it is dropping. The ship is beginning to drop. But you're about 150 feet away. You see that as you get closer, there does appear to be the remains of some stairs that kind of like dip a little bit lower than the main bulk of where this island is, and these like half-broken stairs that kind of lead up. Only around 10 steps, but it is a little bit lower than the rest of the island.
So the stairs are going under the
call
island,
out-
or they could going round the outside underneath.
So it kind of like dips down. So it looks like whatever this island or wherever it was from was on a hill, and these stairs are just immediately like straight up to there. So it's not like wrapped around it or anything like that. It's just straight down, and the bottom of it looks just completely broken off. So wherever this is from, looks like it's just been uprooted and poof, lifted from wherever it used to be. You hear Cap kind of shout out to you, Jeremiah. Things are really bad. This is not good. What do you want to do, Captain?
I know! Jesus.
What is the like force that is propelling the ship? Can I run to wherever it is situated and attempt to do like a quick fix to keep it in the air at least?
Sure.
if
So
we
you'd have to go below deck, and you
Yes.
know that there is, because you kind of tinkered with this before, even though people warned you not to. You know that there is a kind of a node that's within the central hub of the ship. It's a circular node that has these 3 bluish crystals that kind of perpetually spin around it. For those of you that know what these are, I'm going to say probably Hazy, Jeremiah, you'll definitely know what these are. Grim, you probably know what they are. These are called Sky Shard crystals. And they are scattered throughout the realms of Erelon, and it is widely known that they have anti-gravitational properties, which is how the islands throughout this region stay afloat. But you know that there are 3 small Sky Shard crystals that perpetually spin around this node within the central hub, so you dash down in that direction. How quickly are you trying to move, Jeremiah?
As quickly as possible. I don't think we have any time to waste.
Okay, athletics check then, please, just to see how fast you're moving through
bet
the
this is gonna
chaos,
be-
because the crew of the ship don't know what's happening, and they're just racing around trying to tighten the mast, trying to batten down the hatches, so to speak.
Perhaps
I rolled a
Jeremiah's
6.
running below deck. I'm going to get the crew organised with grapples and anything that we can use to try and hatch the island if we get close enough. Or at least if we can get the grapple on the island, we can climb up the ropes even if we lose the ship.
Okay. Jeremiah, what was that?
Give us some.
Yeah, I rolled a 6, so I'm going to use a different die from now on.
Okay, cool. You just begin to like dart down below decks, and as you get there, it does take you a little bit of time because the jolting has knocked boxes and barrels over in your way. You have to like skip round obstacles to get to this node. And as you do, I'd like you to make me an investigation check so you can try and determine what has actually gone wrong.
It is also worth pointing out Jeremiah was given a player inspiration by chat earlier.
Yes, I'm going to use the first inspiration that I had because this dice is rolling terribly as well. Oh, that's better. Oh, that's a 25.
Yeah.
25. It does not take you too long. You have been tinkering with this node a little bit before. You see that in one of the Sky Shard crystals, there is a hairline crack that is formed from the top to the bottom, and it is like kind of cracking under whatever immense arcane pressure is within this crystal, and you can hear, if you listen closely, the like glass breaking under pressure.
Quick, get some duct tape on it.
I have no idea if this is generally a canon thing, but I would like to say that it's canon that kobold spit is very adhesive.
Sure, let's say it is.
Out of curiosity, do these things count as like a magic item?
I assume so.
They do, yeah. They are classed as a magic item. Yeah.
I've got mending, but I assumed that wouldn't work. I'll try. I can try it anyway. It'll help with the sticking of the spit.
Okay.
I'm gonna and try and just fill in the crack.
Try and galvanize it in whichever way, right?
Yeah.
Amazing. So you begin to spit on this thing, and as you're mending one bit, another crack forms, and another crack forms. You can see that something is going to go terribly wrong, terribly quickly. You have minutes left before this ship becomes a ticking time bomb and will begin to plummet.
Okay, I will yeah, I will head out as quickly as I can, and I'm gonna shout back up to the captain. I'll be like, "Captain, it's not. Can't fix it. We gotta get away somehow. It's gonna blow."
Wait, I'm the captain.
Oh no! No one told me it was gonna be this hard. And
Sorry.
then
Go on.
I guess I can see what Illy has been doing with the grappling hooks and stuff, but I just kind of latch onto that, and I'm like,
Yeah, that's good. Let's do that way. Yeah.
As you get up to the deck, Cap turns around and goes, "Captain, I don't think there's much time. I can get you close, but it'll just be a flyby. You're gonna have to get off. We'll do what we can to fix the ship, but we can only leave you there for a time. We'll try our best to fix this, but we can't all go down."
I have a quick...
No. But the ship's gonna blow. You gotta come with us.
Grim?
I have a question. So, does the ship have an anchor?
It does, yes.
Okay. I would like to add, I'm assuming we're basically rocketing towards this chunk of land that's floating, right?
I wouldn't say rocketing. The ship has started to slow because there is no wind direction in this. So the mast has, the whole sail has lost any air current that was propelling it forward, and it is slowly dropping and coming down towards. But it is, you're not going directly at it, and you can kind of see where the stairs are. You would kind of dip past that, but for a moment.
Okay. Since I can fly, I would like to attempt to grab onto the anchor and try to fly the anchor in as a kind of additional grappling hook to kind of supplement Illy's idea.
I'll aid with that as I can fly.
Yeah,
okay.
the two of us then, and he's got the
Gauntlets of Ogre strength.
of Ogre power,
Yes.
So
He's
Amazing.
really powerful now.
Okay, so
yeah, we'll work together and fly to hook the island with the anchor.
okay,
We're taking it down with us. If we're going down, so is the island.
Yep.
okay. Illy, you see, due to your careful instruction, that the crew are wrapping rope and tying them to grappling hooks and getting ready to throw them over. You have maybe a minute or so before the ship becomes parallel to where these stairs are. Grim, Haystack, you fly over the edge and grab the anchor. Haystack, I'd like you to make me an athletics check. You can have advantage because of the gauntlets of ogre power. Grim, an athletics check. This is an anchor designed to stop a ship from moving. This is going to be very difficult to do, but I'm going to allow straight rolls in advantage because of ogre power. So go ahead.
That's 22 from me.
19 from me.
19. You guys just grab hold and begin to fly, but because of the weight of it, you are struggling, even with those rolls, to fly straight, and you just about get it over the edge of this island. You drop the anchor?
Yep.
Yeah.
The anchor just plummets, and you see that it just crashes and hooks in to the island. Hazy, Jeremiah, anything that you guys want to do at this point in time?
I mean, can I hold a vortex warp in case anybody falls, so that I can like get in there and get them onto the island?
You certainly can. Go ahead and mark off the spell slot. As you hold the action to vortex warp if anybody falls off. Hazy?
I mean, I have very little that can help anyone else. I'm just going to prepare myself to jump if need be and hope that I make it.
Okay. Illy, you command the crew and you see them all just start to launch these grappling hooks off. Not all of them are going to be successful. I would say maybe 60% of them land. I'd say more than that land on the island, but only 60% of the hooks that are thrown actually gain purchase and grapple on. You guys have seconds before you pass by a reasonable place to jump off onto the island. So, Hazy and Grim, you are floating above it at the moment. Illy, Jeremiah, Hazy, are you guys going to make a running jump for this?
I think we have to,
Yep.
with the ropes to aid us.
Amazing. Okay, I'd like you all to make me either athletics or acrobatics check. I will allow you to choose whichever one you would like. If you have proficiency in either, you can use either.
Got a +2.
Good luck, Alvord.
That's a 6.
The 16.
Thank you, chat. Thank you, chat, for the inspiration, because I'm going to use it.
Okay.
Hazy forgot to untie himself from the
Yep.
mast. So
Exactly.
Okay.
You jump, and just before you reach the actual stairs, the rope just twangs and you swing down underneath. Jeremiah.
I got a non-nat 20.
Amazing.
Nice.
You wait until the ship is at its closest point and just run and launch yourself off, and mid-air you see Hazy just start to swing below, and you vortex warp Hazy from out of the rope bindings and onto the island next to you. Illy, what did you get?
Second time that Hazy gets a
16.
gun pointed at him and then teleported.
no matter how many times you do it, there's still that brief moment of like a look of like betrayal when you point a gun at me, like, why?
Illy, with a 16, as you are running to the edge of the ship to jump and launch yourself off, you feel 2 or 3 reassuring hands of crew members kind of perpetuate you forward as you launch off and begin to launch through the air and just land and crash into the island. Grim and Haystack, as this is happening, you watch the ship pass these stairs but just begin to drop lower and lower. Between that and the anchor and the ropes kind of becoming taut and strict, you see the ship begin to swing as the bindings and the ropes just begin to snap with the amount of strain that they're under, as these grappling hooks just begin to unleash as the ship begins to drop. And as you all stand watching the Siren's Gale,
Siren's Gale.
you see the captain or Cap walk to the edge and just to all of you as the ship begins to plummet down, leaving.
Her first voyage as captain as well.
I know, and that's 2 ships.
And she didn't even end as the captain.
It's Captain Jonah.
Yeah, and she has seen 2 ships plummet.
If you'll permit it, Dan, I also think that as the captain does that, she glances to her side as she's accepting her fate and sees Benny flying beside her, holding the cat in his claws, just flying up towards us.
And the cat just turns with a paw and goes, meow. Towards the captain, and Benny and the cat drop onto the island.
That's a no, not James.
As Benny arrives at the cat, I turns like, shouldn't the cat have stayed with the ship? You know, for good luck.
You hear Rebus, that's an hello, man! Because Rebus wasn't going to get off the ship. He goes down with the ship as he's running around trying to batten it and fix it as best as possible. But 5 of you, plus Benny and the cat, are stood on the island.
I just, as a GM, acknowledge that it's quite obvious that this was your attempt to balance any encounter by taking our crew away.
You can acknowledge that, yes. So, as you all step foot on the island, on the stairs, you are met with this space.
Ooh.
Hazy, you see that there is, as described, this ramshackled ruin-like structure here. But you also see, with your passive, there is an individual stud a good 40, 50 feet away from you, and next to them, glowing this kind of crackling, very light blue with specks of silver and white, there is what appears to be a circular disc that's stood up on one edge.
So Stargate.
It's portal.
Portal, yeah.
I'm assuming I'm just Patty described me, so I'm the first one to spot this.
Yep.
Yeah. I just sort of like, once we've all sort of saluted the ship, I turn around, scan the island, and then very quickly just make a quick noise to try and get everyone's attention, and just sort of point at this like hooded, cloaked figure.
What's with cloaks? They're really creepy.
I don't know. I quite like mine.
So you guys all look to where Hazy's described, and you see this individual kind of pointing, not looking in your direction, just holding a hand out, one hand on chest, and just begins to move their hand in a particular fashion, and all of a sudden this crack of energy sparks in this portal, and as you say that, Hazy, they turn, look in all of your directions, and just dart through, and the portal closes behind them. And that,
Well, that was rude.
is where we're going to
That
go.
wasn't important.
We're going to go for a quick break there. We're going to pick this up after the break. So we are going to have about 10-ish minutes just so we can go and get a drink, use the toilet, all the rest of it. Please don't go anywhere. Thank you everybody for joining us so far. It has been lovely seeing you all. Thank you everybody for the follows. We'll be back in about 10 minutes. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Bye!
Bye.
The Into the Wilds Battlemap book series from Tom Kartos returns with Volume 3, the Urban Edition. Into the Wilds is a collection of fully customizable, biome and region themed battlemap books for your favorite tabletop RPG. They are ideal for preset or random encounters, so you can be fully prepared no matter which direction your players choose to head in. Volume 3 includes castles and keeps, towns and cities, and traders and dwellings. Everything you need for an urban-based campaign. The returning volumes 1 and 2 include a variety of overworld and underworld maps for travels through the wilderness. The battle maps come in 2 variations: a fully furnished, highly detailed version with props and assets already placed, and a second unfurnished version for you to customize however you need with the included reusable asset stickers or that trusty dry erase marker. Each set also comes with the complete digital bundle for online play. Whether you play in person or online, the Into the Wild series contains everything you need to tell an immersive and compelling story with your friends. Back Into the Wilds Volume 3 on Kickstarter now.
because my Stream Deck, like my mic button is a little bit stiffer than the other one, so I always put the normal audio on and then go, and for no reason at all. Anyway, welcome back to Tales on Tap. Thank you so much for joining us through the break. There was a little bit of a palaver through the break because my hard drive broke a little while ago and everything is almost lost. So a little bit of a scramble there at the break. So apologies for the fade to black with no music, but we quickly remedied that. I hope that you've had a good break. Are we ready to play some more D&D?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Fantastic. You guys are stood on this small island. You see that this individual just teleports through a portal and all the arcane energy just stops, but it leaves you there as the group of 5. What would you like to do?
I would
He's
like to
gone.
investigate the creepy portal.
I see him.
Okay. So, Jeremiah and Hazy, you guys start wandering over towards the portal. Both of you make me investigation checks, please.
God.
what-
11.
11, thank you very much.
Can get another dice.
How am I
out.
unmuted? 18.
18, thank you very much. You see that the portal itself has no more arcane energy at the moment. However, next to the portal on either side, you both see there are 2 small spheres on pedestals next to it. Both have certain runic encarvings on the spheres themselves, but both at this point just kind of hover around 2 or 3 inches above the pedestals. Illy, Haystack, and Grim, anything that you guys want to do at this point?
Did you say that that was a tower?
It gives you the impression it could have been once upon a time, but it is
Okay.
no longer. It has been torn asunder.
Well, I'm still just going to have a little... While those two are checking out the gate star over there, I'm just going to have a little snoop around, see if I can pick anything out from just general surroundings, see if this guy left anything behind, or any writings, or things like that, just stuff.
Okay, go ahead and make me an investigation check then yourself as you start wandering around the island. Grim, Illy, anything you guys want to do?
I'm going to start ritual casting detect magic, just so I've got that. I don't have many spell slots, so I'm saving them. But it's a backup in case anything sus is going on.
Okay, so it takes 10 minutes to cast, to ritual cast detect magic, so you're going to spend the next 10 minutes doing that.
I'm going to start it at least.
Okay, Jeremiah?
I've just thought of something. Jeremiah's gonna go,
Wait, quick! No one touched it. No one touched that thing.
I want to
because I
touch it
have
now.
finder's goggles, and I
Mhm.
could use the goggles to examine an object to identify the aura of the last creature that touched it, and I can then cast locate creature on it.
Amazing! Amazing. So you do so, and it
So
gives...
I do have to make insight check though. The
Go ahead
DC
and
is
roll.
13 plus the number of days since the last contact occurred, so I guess that's 0.
Yeah, sure.
Oh my god, no! Oh, it's a 5.
Oh,
The
good
hell?
effort, though.
Oh.
Good effort. That was very,
Oh.
very good.
Dice are
Uh,
not
been so
happy
good.
with you right now. What have
I know.
you done?
No.
I've used 3 different dice, none of them are working.
Do you know...
No,
do you-
karma is telling you something right
I know.
now.
No.
Yeah,
Who
more
have
dice.
you offended? What part?
Oh,
What
no.
part of the ether have you caused
Yeah.
to rebuke
I
you
don't
such?
know.
So
I'm assuming
effectively...
your goggles are attuned items.
Hmm?
I'm assuming your goggles are attuned items because I have
Yeah,
I have
yeah.
a stinkingly good insight, so that would have been.
Yeah, no, they are attuned.
Damn.
Okay. Grim, is there
Sadly.
anything you want to do?
Oh, I can roll
yeah.
a d4 and add the number to the check if that helps.
It's not
Probably
going to
won't.
help. No.
It's got to be 13, isn't it?
Yeah.
I think while I have a little bit of time left on my fly spell, I'm gonna go and check out the other little floating fragment over there, just to see if there's anything odd with it. Otherwise, I'll join Haystack in checking out the ruins and the surrounding area.
Okay, so you're both pretty much looking at the surrounding area. It's just with your fly, you're going to check out that little bit as well. So either one of you can roll with advantage, or you can both roll investigation checks. Considering Haystack has already rolled his, it's up to you guys what you want to do.
You want to roll?
Yeah, sure, I'll roll.
Yeah.
Why not?
The last comment was, get Valkyrie RPG dice. They always serve me well.
I
don't-
should.
Nice. Nice.
Excellent plug.
That's a 6.
A 6. Okay. As you kind of fly over to this small island, it looks as if it has broken away from the main fragment of the main island, but is still keeping the same plane, so it hasn't dropped or risen or anything. Maybe by half a foot, if that. But as you kind of circle this small island, this small fragment of this island, you see that just jutting out ever so slightly is this small bluish crystal, ever so slightly protruding from the earth. Haystack, what did you roll?
15.
15. You see, as you're walking around, just here, in fact, there is another one of those said crystals. And if you look just behind here, there is another one. It shows yellow on here, but I'm going to say they're blue. And just here, so you see that just kind of jutting out from the rock and the earth beneath your feet, there is these kind of very small protrusions of these, like, bluish crystals. Kind of give you an understanding that this is being kept in place by the force and the arcane energy that was keeping your ship afloat not moments ago before the lightning. Okay, So you see the pedestals, you see the floating orbs, you see that the island is being kept in place by these crystals. Illy, you are ritual casting your detect magic. Is there anything else anybody would like to do?
The runic carvings on the spheres, are they arcane carvings or are they like a language?
They appear to be arcane carvings. If you would like to give me an arcana check, you can see if you can try to decipher them.
I mean, somebody else probably be better at this. I don't plan on, if I see that Ellie is doing the detect magic, I won't touch them, but I'll just sort of look at them, see if I can work out what it's meant to do.
Okay.
No Can problem. I help and give advantage with my +7 arcana?
Sure,
I mean,
you can roll yourself.
+7 arcana, how about you make the check? Because I've got a +0.
Yeah.
I'll give you the help action.
That is true.
There you go. That makes sense.
Oh my god, I rolled an 8 and a 6 so it'll be 15.
15, okay. So you, Jeremiah, I've been looking at these. These runic symbols aren't a language as such, but they are the runic symbols of elements. So you see that there is roughly around 5 or 6 different runic symbols on each, and each runic symbol portrays a particular element. So fire, water, earth, air, sky shard crystal, and unknown.
Okay.
Oh, Hazy, this is actually really, well, not basic, but like basic building blocks kind of thing. It's like elements. It's all the elements.
Can I start ritual casting Identify?
Sure.
The double whammy of Identify and Detect Magic. We're like, we will know what's going on.
Sure. You begin to start doing that, leaving Grim, Haystack, and Hazy. What do you guys want to do while these guys are ritual casting their spells? Nope. Okay.
I don't want to touch anything until somebody casts Detect Magic.
That's fine. So after searching the island, Illy, it will have been about 10 minutes that you detect magic. You do see that the portal itself glows, and the 2 nodes on either side on the pedestal glow to give you the impression that they have got magical properties. You're going to ask me what type of magic, aren't you?
I mean, it is helpful.
It's magical magic.
It's like people have
Absolutely.
Magic. I've heard that before.
Teleport magic, right?
I hate this every single time because I just don't know what they are. I hate it. Everybody says, "What are they?" I'm like, no idea.
I've never met a DM that doesn't go, I should have prepared for this. Why didn't I prepare for this? Oh god,
so
what is it?
they are the 2. So all 3 of them give you. The portal gives you conjuration magic, obviously, because it gives you the ability to teleport through a portal. And you see that the 2 orbs give you enchantment magic. School of Enchantment.
Not worrying at all.
I will pass this information on to the rest of the party. Like, look, I can tell you what it is, but I am not that great with the magics.
I made a mistake. It's not enchantment, it's transmutation. It changes the properties of something, doesn't it? So there you go. And see, I told you, magical magic. I don't know. I just know that. I just know what it does. I don't know what the school is.
Fantasy.
So, I don't know this is something I would have to make an insight check for, but from being described that the 2 orbs are transmutation, the portal bit is conjuration. Would it be safe to assume that the spheres can control the location of the portal by transmuting like the conjuration magic?
It would make sense. Yeah.
Does it look like the orb can be turned at all, or is it just the sort of thing you have to like activate?
I don't know. You're gonna have to try. It depends. I don't want to give you all the answers.
I gestures. I'm gonna reach out and touch it, sort of look back to everyone else, like, huh?
Jeremiah is like ritual casting
nowhere
one
else
eye
to go.
open, like.
Oh, you still? Sorry, what spell was Jeremiah casting?
I'm casting Identify, which should tell me if that is correct.
In which case I will be it.
Okay. Does anybody want to do anything while we wait for Identify?
I'm going to walk around the whole island to see if I get any ping. I'm assuming the crystals will ping, and I'll recognize that ping because of the ship, but just in case anything else pings.
Nothing does, but you do have a quick walk round, but nothing else shines up. We're going to say that, Jeremiah, you ritual cast Identify, and you get the understanding that it is exactly as Hazy described. You have to use the certain runes to activate the portal. Now, what runes they are depend on what you want to activate, but go ahead and roll me a history check, Jeremiah. Use a different dice altogether again.
Yep. It's so much that I've got out of the box and I'm opening a bag now for other
For
dice.
something else.
Metal dice time. Ooh. Okay. Middle of the road. What was it? History. Oh, I'm good at that. 17.
17. So you cast your mind back to the riddle that you were told about the island of the Astrals and the fact that this is a shifting storm that is moving around. It kind of begins to set in at this point that there must be a reason that there is storm magic around here, and starts to
There's
give
the
you
storm where we just came from. Is the storm gone now?
No, so it is swirling around you, and it is all
essentially
around
in the eye of the storm, aren't we?
Exactly, yeah.
I just wondered if it would have moved with, and it's the person that is the storm, but no.
I am the
I reckon
Yeah.
this portal. I reckon this portal is the whatever's causing the storm.
Yeah.
The eye of the storm, literally. I think we're just
probably
going to have
sort of-
to let courage be our guide.
Yeah, I think out of character, my sort of
Mm-hmm.
whether he is actually intelligent enough to think of this. I imagine that this portal is linked in some way to the elemental plane of air or something along those lines.
I was wondering that too, yeah. If they're like different elements would do the elemental planes. Question is, where would Sky Shard go and where would Unknown go?
Well, this island was meant to be the entrance to the home plane of Zephyron, the Tempest Lord.
Yeah, so it's
There we
linked to
are.
his.
Good thing we have
knows.
someone that keeps notes.
Yep. So
I remembered it being some sort of Tempest thing. I couldn't remember the name. It was like, this is definitely linked to whatever this plane is we're going to.
Yep. So you have some choices, you have some options. There is the pedestal with the orbs, and effectively you're just going to have to try and work out which runes to use to activate this portal effectively.
As much
Okay,
fun as I
so-
think it would be to Hazy to hit it with a hammer, I think this is probably more of Jeremiah's field.
Yeah.
So, before we try and figure out what runes do, where is it that we're trying to get to? Do we want to follow whoever that was? Do we want to try and find this treasure or go somewhere else?
Well, we're trying to get to this plane of the Tempest fell, aren't we?
Are we?
Yeah.
Well, we
But that's
were
where the treasure
trying to
was.
find the treasure.
Well, if we're going somewhere with the Tempest, then water and air would make sense.
Yeah, I mean, the Tempest Fury has yielded to the calm. Well, it's not exactly dark, but you could say this is the Tempest Fury has yielded to the calm of the night.
What?
Well, I was just remembering back to the poem we were given, the prophecy.
The prophecy that I definitely remember, and I'm not
That is-
searching the chat for now.
I mean, we've been trying to do so much in the past, day. It's hard to keep track of what we're actually supposed to be doing, so...
Damn.
Like, your brain's just gotta work faster.
No, it doesn't.
Just drink some coffee.
Oh, no, that's evil stuff. That's bad for you.
I just have a mind for songs, so that's why it's kind of stuck in.
I have a mind for something. Don't know what it is, though. Should we just follow the guy in the cloak? That could be interesting. They
I'll
may...
tell you what,
Oh,
Jeremiah,
that's a
I think
really
the
good
first
point.
step is probably going to be
We
to
could
get
just
this
let
thing
courage
working.
be our guide.
Hey, if that guy just went through, maybe the runes haven't changed, and we can just follow.
Yeah.
And hey, maybe his name's Courage, so it makes sense, Who knows?
He's our guide.
Yeah.
You never know.
Okay.
Dan's quickly scribbling that down. No.
Well, I've already had one chat with a name for an NPC, and it was marvelous. I'm just scrolling up to try and find it.
What was it? It was like
Oh, that was one of my.
Murphy something.
Yeah, Lord
Lord
Murray.
Murray
Murray
must skip the
Mudskip.
fourth.
Yep, is now an NPC in the world of Erelon. Thank you for that. They will come up at some point in the campaign, so you better tune in for more.
Thank you, Felicia.
So, guys, which runes are we trying?
Are there any that are like still kind of programmed lit up from the last
There
one?
is not. No, it does
course
not seem activated. So you have fire, water, earth. You have air. You have the one that is the rune for the sky shard crystals, and then one that you do not recognize.
Hmm.
I
Well,
say-
water and air would be my guess, but that also might lead to like the elemental plane of, well, what is it? Like electricity or something?
Why don't we do the-
There's
why don't
ones
we-
in the middle.
Why don't we do the mystery domain? That sounds fun. Just go to just somewhere. Who knows?
I like how you think.
Like, we know what water is. We know what fire is. We don't want to go to a place full of fire because it'll just be full of fire. Like, let's go to a place of mystery, of adventure. That's what we wanted to do, right? So,
Would it be too much metagaming to know that the joining place of the elemental plane of water and air is a plane of storms? Would that be too much metagaming knowledge?
No, I mean, it's safe to assume we all know what the basic elements do, right? And the combination of each, like, if you put fire and earth together, you're going to get some form of lavaous domain. Like, you know.
we're in the painting room from Mario 64. Is it just different lands?
So, I'm going to have to push you for a decision. So, which two runes are you going to push?
Water and air.
So this is what I was going to ask, because this is why I was asking, is that too much meta knowledge? So from the poem, and I know we did history checks before, would we know that this Tempest Lord thing, would his plane be found in the storm plane, or would we be looking for something different for him?
So, I'm going to ask somebody to make me an intelligence check.
Not me.
Is anybody
That's probably gonna be-
Is anybody going to be well versed in terms of like history and book read?
I have a +7 to history.
Okay.
There we go.
Okay, Jeremiah, roll me a history
I'm
check to see
basically-
if you can try and recollect this mystery rune.
Right, come on.
Can I aid them
Oh my
being
God.
familiar with cartographers and calligraphers?
Please.
Sure, you can have
sets?
advantage. Let's do that. Trying to give you
just
guys a
rolled,
little bit
like,
of a leg up, so go ahead.
I just rolled like the 4th 5 that I've rolled this today. So thank you. 17 again.
Hey.
17. Jeremiah, you don't know where you read this, but there was an old tome that you found back in the day that you kind of stuffed in your bag when you were raiding somewhere, and kind of sat in front of the campfire, kind of flicking through. It is a book that you found on a felled cleric. And you have flicked through this book, and you recognize that this symbol has something to do, this runic symbol, to do with faith and the devout and an extra dimensional power, or an extra dimensional like mineral, or it's sort of like the fifth element. It can't be quantified as such by the periodic table as such. It's just there is an element. It's you just have to believe that there is the element, and it will be there type deal, right?
Magic.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll sort of
Point that out and be like, oh, hey, this weird one. I think it's like what people refer to when they say spirit, or like soul of the faith, that kind of thing. So
Oh, the fifth element. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah,
I love that
exactly.
rule.
So if we're looking for, what was it, the Storm Herald's domain, maybe it would be water and air, and this one to indicate the presence of some extra, like almost celestial
Something
kind of
divine.
being. It's yeah, exactly.
As
Something
a cleric,
beyond
does
the
that
physical.
make sense, or does it sound like we're going to royally screw ourselves by doing that?
I think by combining 3, you're going to screw yourselves. But there's a combination of 2 of these runes that you have to combine to get this thing working. So
Well, so as a cleric, can I remember? I know you're trying to push us to make a decision here, but the
No,
Storm
no, it's
Herald,
fine.
is the Storm Herald like a divine thing, or is he
He
an
is-
elemental lord?
he is part of the pantheon.
Okay, so then we probably want that spiritual domain,
Yeah,
and possibly
so-
I would say air.
As you're discussing this, you know that Severion is the Tempest Lord, who is has the domain of air, storms, and freedom. Zephyrion commands the tempest and winds. Sailors, storm sorcerers, and free-spirited adventurers seek his favor. His symbol is a storm cloud, and he is known to be both unpredictable and fiercely independent.
I just thought something that we have completely forgotten about that would have made this so much easier is the fact that we don't know what oceans are.
Well, I was actually what I was about to say. I was like, well, our tides are the tides of the wind, not the waves.
So water shouldn't even be coming into it.
There you go.
Right, well, from what I recall, Zephyrion is of the divine, he's of the pantheon, so they'll probably want this fifth spiritual element and probably air then based on his domains.
So,
Yeah, sounds good.
mystery domain? Or am I getting that
Mystery
wrong?
domain.
There we go. Let's do it. Let's go.
Okay, so it needs 2 of you to activate this because you have to activate it simultaneously. So I need 2 people to volunteer to push the runes. Who's doing that?
I'll
As
push
the
one.
cleric, I was gonna say, as the cleric, I could do the divine one in case it needs some sort of
Oh,
like.
that makes sense, yeah.
Okay.
Hey,
In
before I'm
case
just
you
like,
have to like
get
do
pushed aside
something,
by
you get to
it.
make a religion check or something. I'll put the divine one in.
Okay, so you push the religious rune, and Jeremiah or Haystack decide amongst yourselves.
Go on, Haystack.
I imagine he goes for it, but Hazy would probably push him out of the way because he's just very like, yeah, cool.
Okay.
I'm taking it seriously.
So you, Jeremiah and Hazy, you push these runes and place your fingers on them, and nothing happens.
Haystack just stands in front of the circle and just starts doing that. Like, just hoping.
Hazy
you're
pulls out his
right,
warhammer. Right, plan B. Just like makes to go and hit it.
Wait! No, you're
Can I
right. That
go
guy
and-
was doing some kind of.
Low on the
Thing.
air rune.
Or are you gonna really make us fifth
You
element
can,
this?
you can blow on the air rune, and as you see it just kind of lights up ever so light, like softly, and then fades again.
Gonna make us fucking fifth element this.
Yep.
I try to channel some of my sort of divine magic into the divine rune.
How are you going to do that?
I'll probably cast like a cantrip on it or something.
Okay.
I mean, I don't want to damage it, so I'll probably just like channel some of divine magic and try and cast like mending or something on it, just so it's sort of casting a spell of some form.
Okay. I will allow it because you don't want to damage the thing. So you woof, and you see that this rune lights up,
Beautiful.
and you have activated one of these nodes.
Quick, everyone, blow on the other one together.
Prestidigitation can do a puff of wind, so I was going to try that.
Okay, you woof.
I'm helping,
Prestidigitate. You do so, and it lights up, and you see the portal just swirl, and this arcane bluish whitish energy just swirl.
Well, this was a triumph.
When
I
the
do
portal
a
is open-
silly impression of the man, like.
Yeah, Hazy thinks he's done. Hazy thinks he's the one's activated the portal. He just missed
Hazy,
the whole time.
you
Oh, not
have-
Hazy, sorry, Haystack. Haystack thinks he's the one who's done it.
You have opened the portal. Congratulations, you figured it out.
Guys, I think I'm magic. I did that.
You absolutely
And
are.
Haystack's going to stick his head through the portal.
Okay, as you do, you go through the portal, leaving the 4 of you stood there as Haystack disappears.
Well, we better follow him before he gets in trouble.
Hey, come on, jump in
Never
after
got
him.
in trouble.
Go!
All of you step through the portal. Well, I say all of you. Does anybody want to stay behind? Player agency and all that.
Well,
Grim
now that you
linger.
mention it.
Grim lingers till the last possible second, just looking around at the island, calls Benny over to his shoulder. Benny's like trying to muscle the cat up, and Grim just reaches out, grabs the cat, and is petting the cat, and just kind of looks
Throws off the
around
edge.
at the island and shrugs his shoulders a bit before falling into the portal.
As you look around the island, make me a perception check, please.
That's a 7.
A 7.
I'm rolling a lot
You
of
don't-
5s as well.
You don't see, but you hear the crunch of earth and this metallic scrape from off to your left-hand side as you fall in through the portal. Well, say goodbye to Kansas, kids.
And that's where we're ending the game, guys.
Well done! You all
Yay!
You won D&D.
step through the portal, and you are faced with yet another cluster of these small isles, but the wind is swirling around you. Those with hair, it picks up. Haystack, it just... Hazy,
More of a
your
haystack.
hair just begins to swirl everywhere as you step through this portal, and you guys see that dotted on every bit of rock are these very light blue veins and these huge protruding sky shard crystals jutting out from the rocks. Hazy, you have the highest perception. You see that there are 3 cloaked individuals with hammers, chisels, and all sorts of implements just smashing into these crystals. You see some of the formations that are just decimated. Shards of these crystals just scattered across. The wind itself is probably around 10-15 mile an hour, swirling all around you. It is hard to even hold your gaze, but you see them.
Before I realise how strong the wind is, I point my finger at one of them and go to shout, "Oi! We're here to steal those!" But the winds were just swallowed by the wind.
But you see that. The rest of you kind of covering yourselves and battening yourselves against the torrent of wind. But you have arrived in some unknown location, and on this floating precipice of micro isles. What do you want to do?
How
Well,
far?
I attempted to shout. That was my first attempt at something.
How far around us do these islands expand? Looking up, looking down, looking all around. Is it just throughout the sky, or is it just sort of a level plain of islands?
It is throughout the sky. There are all different various kind of heights and distances away from you. The main focal point is ahead of you, the largest one is just ahead of you, around, like I say, another 5-foot jump over, and you'll be on the biggest kind of cluster of rock within this small space.
Concerning. Looking
Hey,
back
everyone,
at Sorry, no, go on.
Go on.
No, just to say,
if
turning around.
everyone is...
Oh
No,
no,
you
it's
go.
so hard.
You go.
If these guys are smashing up the crystals here, would that affect the crystals out home? Is that why the ships got sunk?
I think our ship got sunk because it hit by
Trying to
lightning 3 times.
But
Maybe they're trying to sink stuff. I don't know, islands?
I have a sneaking
That'd be
suspicion.
bad.
I have a sneaking suspicion that sky shards are very, very valuable.
yes, they are indeed.
Dude,
I suspect that.
On
I
which
suspect
note,
that
are there any loose
grabbing them-
ones? just in the pocket.
We're all just picking them up from around us now.
It's like,
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
If there's loose ones, I'm taking it.
have
Yeah.
these 3 cloaked figures noticed us yet?
No, they haven't. Not yet. But I'm going to let somebody else make a perception check. So whoever else wants to make it,
I'll
I'm
go.
not great at that.
go ahead.
I'll do that. Okay. Oh, nice. That is a 24.
You see on the back of each of their cloaks there is this symbol. It is a kind of very black but with a red outline. I will see if I can pop it on the thing. I'm sure I can. Give me a second.
Pop it on the thing.
Let's go as a character. You see this symbol on the back of each of their cloaks.
Oh gosh.
Grim, you would recognize this as the symbol of the Dread Sultan of Salaster.
Who?
We're crossing games with some of this, but that is the symbol of the Dread Sultan of Salaster. Now, the Salaster itself is a... give me 2 seconds. I just need my primer and what have you up. 1 sec. It is a conquering nation, so the Isle of Salaster itself used to be ruled by the people of... Give me a sec. There we go. It was forged by, in legend, by a legendary dragon called Maharot, and the Dread Sultan now seeks to expand the borders of this desert realm. The Dread Sultan has their eye on conquest and has their eye firmly fixed on Skyhaven and Evercrest. You see, Go ahead.
Don't think they're smashing the crystals. Smashing the crystals won't give them any benefit. But
No,
harvesting more and expanding their fleet.
They're harvesting them so they can continue their expansion. Just with my backstory, I know obviously sort of irrelevant to it. My backstory was all about him, Hazy being a member of like a military group and like all of his comrades died. Would Solasta realistically be a country that I would have been involved with before?
Yes, it would.
That?
Yes, it would.
Oh,
because
in which case then
where
Hazy
you're
immediately
from
starts casting Spiritual Weapon.
Okay, so you immediately cast Spiritual Weapon. Now, I say that because you are from Illyria. Now, Illyria was torn asunder by the island of Salaster and the Dread Sultan not 40 years ago. And it was a conquest of Illyria that took, and it's called the Raging War, and it lasted 15 years. Because the Isle of, Illyria, the Kingdom of Illyria was ruled by the King Lucis of House Calum, and there was the 15-year war, and it was called the Raging War, because of how long it took. Thousands upon hundreds of thousands of lives lost on both sides. But the Dread Sultan was, in fact, victorious, and ever since, the borders of Illyria has been shut to any and all travellers completely. And nobody has heard word from there for 10 years.
You guys, as you're like everyone's looking around trying to work out what's happening, as soon as that symbol becomes visible, anyone who looks at Hazy sees him just take like a massive drag in the cigar, sort of the end burns down, glows incredibly brightly for a minute, raises his hand, and those like almost like spectral markings you saw before where the like skeletal hand appears, rushes up his arm, a skull sort of appears on the front of his face, and he just shouts, "You murdering bastards!" And a spiritual weapon, not the like the half-smashed bottle of rum that you saw before, but what would have been his military-issued warhammer. A spectral version of that appears wreathed in cigar smoke in the middle, next to the nearest person in front of us.
Excellent. Give me a second. I'm going to get you a warhammer token so that you can move it around. Give me a sec. I've got to find one that's not got a background.
I've cast the spell.
Sure, let's give you that one. Why not? Oh God, save. And let's go and put it here. And there is your spiritual weapon.
Beautiful.
So you cast that. I will give you. Can you move that? Yeah, you can. There you go.
Okay.
Okay. You bonus action. Is it bonus action spiritual weapon?
It is.
There you are.
Can I use this moment to cast invisibility on myself?
Sure, because they haven't spotted you yet, I'm going to allow a surprise round. So, Hazy, spiritual bonus action, spiritual weapon. Jeremiah, cast invisibility on yourself. Grim,
Hazy, some mischief.
Okay. So I will allow either a bonus action or action and movement. So I will allow that as your surprise round.
As the casting spiritual weapon, I do get to make an attack roll because this is technically surprise. Can I do so at advantage?
You can.
Yeah.
So go ahead and roll to hit.
Oh my god. I mean, unless these guys aren't wearing armor, with my bonus, that is going to be a 13.
Oh, a 13. Okay. Give me a second.
I mean, they are in cloaks. Maybe no armor.
I fucking
They are.
hope. Otherwise, my grand entrance is going to be slightly spoiled.
That does, in fact, hit.
Oh, thank God.
So, go ahead and roll me some damage, and we will go for this one here. That's fine. Hazy, you've just been given inspiration as well.
Hey, thank you very much. So that is a total of... What's my spellcasting bonus? Oh, that plus my Amulet of the Devout will give me a total of 7 damage, because I rolled a 1.
7 points of damage. Okay. Do you want to move at all?
Oh yeah, I'm gonna leap across.
It's 5 feet. You can leap across there, no problem.
For some reason, I cannot move my token.
Oh, 1 second. There you go.
Beautiful.
I might need to give everybody control of their own tokens again, but there we are.
10, 15, 25. Bear in mind, you guys watch as Hazy, who normally sort of sits behind some of you guys. He doesn't mind getting into the melee to help people, but normally he's not the first to rush in. You see there is a bloodlust on him.
Okay. Chloe, are you still in the Alba? It's
Yes,
not
I
showing.
am.
Do you want to reload it for me?
Oh.
Because
Yeah,
it's
I
not
will.
showing you as one of the players, that's all. Just so I can give you a control of the token. There we go.
There we
Got you.
go.
Gotcha. Okay.
Nice.
Amazing. So you move. Jeremiah, you invisibility. Any movement from you?
Yes, I would like to jump across so that I'm on the main island.
Okay.
And then where do I want to be? I guess I will just... How far is that? Oh yeah, I can make that. Just head towards the middle for now.
Okay.
And hang out there for a mo.
Okay, no problem. Illy, surprise round. What do you guys want to do?
Indeed. Quite conveniently, there is now an ally next to one of them. So I'm going to attempt to wallop him with a psychic blade.
Excellent. Go ahead and roll to hit, please.
That's a 20.
Ooh, a natural 20.
Oh!
Oh!
26 total.
Nice.
Chunky crit. Unbelievable on the first round. Amazing. Go ahead and roll me some damage, please. As you... the spectral blade.
This gets sneak attack as well, so that
It
is
does.
13 points of radiant damage.
13 points of radiant.
Oh, sorry, not radiant, psychic.
13 points of psychic damage, yep. So that's doubled the die and added the modifier, yeah.
Oh yeah, sorry, no, take it back. That's 23 points of psychic damage.
23 points of psychic damage. Amazing. Okay, roll me a d20, please. Grim, you have inspiration as well, gifted by the chat.
That is a 15.
A 15. The blow drives the foe to the ground, inflict an additional 2d6 damage, and the enemy is knocked prone.
That is another 7 points of damage.
Fantastic. Thank you very much. Oh, wrong one. As you see, and this enemy just crash into the crystal and drop to the ground prone. Any movement from you, Illy?
How far is that? Let me just measure quickly. Yeah, I'm just going to try and hop and hide behind that. Not actively hide, because that'd be my most action as well. I'm just going to kind of scoot behind the crystal.
Amazing. Thank you. Haystack?
Yes. Things I can do, because I remember my character.
Haystack, you also
Haystack
have
also
inspiration?
has inspiration.
Yeah. And I believe Jeremiah is the only one without inspiration right now, right?
Yeah, I used all mine.
Them? Yeah.
Can I give mine to Jeremiah? Because I already have one. And I want to be a nice player. I pass it over?
No.
Okay.
No, you can't.
Well, never mind.
Because that's what channel points are for. So Jeremiah's already had how many? 3 gifted by chat already? And they've not worked.
I don't know.
Surprise round's a full round, right?
Jeremiah also now has inspiration, thanks to thanks to Grim. There you go. That's how you give somebody inspiration.
Nice.
Go, Haystack. What are you doing?
Yeah, surprise round's a full round, right?
So you get either an action or a bonus action and movement on this round.
Okay, cool. So watching everyone jump into action again on people he may or may not know are enemies, but assume so because they're attacking. You watch as the bee wings once again appear from Haystack's back, but they shift in form to look more like wasp wings as he uses 30 feet of flying speed thanks to his boots to fly 30 feet into the air in sort of like a diagonal direction. So to about there probably.
Okay.
Just up in the air flying. And then I'm going to make 2 bow attacks at this furthest guy on the little island over here.
Okay, so to fly in this type of buffeting wind, you get half speed. It is difficult terrain due to the wind speeds. So you get half movement when flying.
I will still fly, but it's a lot less than he would like, so he's basically hovering maybe 10 feet off the ground at best. Like, just he wanted to fly off really well, and you saw the big like dispersion of dust, and then he's kind of just sort of like stuck, like half in midair, half not, sort of looking like, oh, it's fine, I can do it later.
Well, I do imagine another one where he just not quite as quick on the uptake, hasn't really noticed the buffeting winds.
Yeah.
Activated your ability, got up and went,
yeah. It's probably.
But yes,
Okay.
I will make 2 bow attacks at the furthest guy away.
Okay, so buffeting wind, these are both going to be at disadvantage because it is a ranged attack and is 15-mile-an-hour wind. It is rough. So go ahead and roll me both attacks with disadvantage, please.
Wow, this is a bad time to be an archer. Okay, I'm gonna preface this now. Sharpshooter for both.
Okay.
Okay, so with disadvantage, the first one is a 10.
A 10 misses as you... And you just see the arrow just violently shift in the air and miss its target.
Damn. Right, okay, that's fine. We can do this. Come on. Okay, that's better. Okay, that's much better. So... Math, right. 19 to hit.
A 19 with disadvantage on sharpshooter is impressive.
I've got a +8 to my bow. I
Hell
rolled 16.
yeah. Hell yeah.
Yes.
Okay, 19 will definitely hit. Go ahead and roll me some damage, please. As this arrow, you kind of like adjust
Yeah.
on the second shot, knowing which way the wind is going, and it just arcs around and plummets straight into this guy's neck.
Cool. So we've got...
Someone manages to get him in the back of the neck.
Yeah, literally shoots behind him. Like,
Okay, so that is... that's 18. 18 on the hit. So that's 18 damage. And then I'm going to do an extra 1d6 for my gathered swarm. On any attack, I can add a 1d6 for the bees. So little magic bees come out and start stinging round the wound because it's gross.
nice.
And that's an extra 6 piercing damage on top of
Oh, amazing.
that. Yeah, so that's 23 in total.
24.
And that's my turn.
24 in total. Excellent. Thank you very much. Grim.
Yeah, I think I'm just going to jump across, kind of moving up and out, and you guys can all see as Benny follows him. I think Benny drops, or I think we drop the cat. Just leave the cat by the portal back there.
Yep.
And
Keep
you
it
all
safe.
can see a determination upon Grimm's face. Normally, very like smiling and friendly, and all of that has kind of disappeared as he's looking around this field, and he just stares at the one over here that is mining down in the corner. And without really saying much of a word, just unleashes a pair of Eldritch Blasts at him.
Fantastic. You're close enough distance that you won't need a disadvantage, so straight rolls for you.
Great.
So go ahead and roll me to hit as you send 2 foot.
Why would I be at disadvantage?
No. It's not disadvantage because of how close you are. That's what I'm saying. So it's a straight roll. It's fine.
Why would it have been disadvantage is why I'm asking.
Because I was thinking because it's a ranged attack in the wind, but it's fine. I was just playing in my head, reading through the rules in my head. It's not though, so it's fine.
Okay. Sure. So that is a 17 and a 24 for the 2 blasts.
Both of them hit.
Yeah, minimum damage on the first one, so 3, and minimum damage on the second one, so 6 total.
6 total points of damage as these 2 Eldritch blasts through the air and crash into this individual. I would like everybody to roll me initiative, please.
Let's go.
Anticipating you would ask that question, I did, and I got a 2, which becomes a 1.
Nice!
I got an 18.
I got an 18.
This is the dice we're using now.
18. Haystack 18. Grim. 2. Illy.
9.
9. Thank you very much. Okay. Top of the initiative order. This individual here spots you, gets the arrow in the side of the neck, and just kind of rushes and ducks behind this crystal, and will take the dodge action on this turn. Hey, Hazy, you're up next. Sorry, Haystack, you're up next. Sorry. Haystack. Haystack, you're up next.
Okay. It's not far from... I'm only like 5 feet off the ground, so if I want to get to solid ground, it's not that far, is it?
No. You'd be able to drop and hop across, yeah.
Yeah. So I'm going to drop and hop and come to about here. Seeing as the guy I wanted to absolutely murder with arrows is hiding like a bitch, I'm going to attack the other one instead. So the furthest one away, just behind, this one over here.
Okay, so what are you going to do with your bow and arrow?
Yep, the same thing I always... Actually, no, bonus action. First, I'm going to Hunter's Mark this guy.
Okay, Hunter's Mark. Nice. Excellent move.
As a little bee appears on the back in sort of like yellow paint, almost like a spray paint bee. And I'm going to... 2 shots at him. Oh, I've not used Hunter's Mark in so long. Let me just quickly remember.
So
it's the bonus d6 damage for now.
Yeah, that's what I thought. It's just so I can track it. That's fine.
Yeah,
cool. So
go
both
ahead.
with sharpshooter, both at disadvantage. I know this because it's still windy.
Yeah.
So let's see. Okay, first one is. First one is a 15 to hit.
15 will hit.
Cool. Do you want me to... Yeah, I'll roll damage first and I'll do the second one. Okay, so that is 14 damage plus 2. So the first one is 16 damage.
Excellent. As this arrow flies through the air and crashes into this guy's shoulder.
Yep. And then second one... Oh, that's not as good. That's only a 12.
A 12 misses, unfortunately, on the second attack, as the arrow just narrowly misses this individual as he kind of like ducks down to try and take what little cover there is. Any further movement for you, Haystack?
Do I have more movement? Or would the drop and sort of get to where I am? It would have been it, wouldn't it? Because I was flying.
Yes, okay. No problem.
So that is me.
At the end of your turn, haystack, you feel, and you all begin to feel the wind pressure and the speed in which the wind is circulating around you starts to pick up and centralize in the middle of this island here.
Oh no.
But it is Jeremiah's turn for now. Jeremiah, what would you like to do?
Cool. Jeremiah's gonna come over here and out of nowhere everyone will just see a magical cannon appear. My Eldritch Cannon, which is not a spell, so I'm still invisible. I'm going to place it on the ground in front of me there. Where's the pingy? Ping, ping, ping pointer. There. I don't know how this works.
Yeah, right click, yeah.
And then I'm going to run towards this one over here, I think.
Okay.
I'm going to get 10 feet away to here, and I'm going to use a bonus action to activate the cannon, because it's an action to create and a bonus action to activate. It's a force ballista, which means I do a ranged spell attack with a range of 120 feet. So I'm going to go try and get this guy with the hunter's mark.
Yeah.
Because if it hits, they'll be pushed 5 feet away from the cannon and hopefully off the edge.
Amazing. Go ahead and roll 2 hits, please.
To join the cannon.
What do I add?
I was considering trying to pick
that's
the guy up in front of me and threw him off, but my strength is abysmal.
It's a dirty 20.
Nice.
A dirty 20 will
found the right
definitely hit.
Nice.
Amazing. Now we're playing. Go ahead and
So
roll
I'm
me
gonna
some
take
damage.
2d8 damage. Is it 2d8? Yes. 10 force damage, and is pushed 5 feet away from the cannon.
Well, they are technically in this space here, so that would mean they're from you, and they... Oh, God. That can go away, and they just...
You.
and begin to just plummet off the island out of sight.
Hazy just hears a disembodied.
Okay, anything else from you?
Would you not come
No, that's it.
visible again after you fire in the cannon?
It just says attacking or casting a spell, and well, it depends. It's me activating the cannon. It depends whether it counts as me attacking or not.
Well, it is an attack roll,
yeah.
so I'm going to assume that is
Fair
the
enough.
case. So the invisibility drops.
That's fine. I did what I wanted to do.
Excellent. Next up,
He looks over, who would normally be like, he would normally have a bit of banter in the combat. He just looks over and just gives you like a very just gives you a very grim, like serious, like nod, and then like turns back, hammer in hand, to this guy on the floor.
Amazing.
Jeremiah winks back and finger guns.
Okay. So, the individual in front of you, Hazy, is going to reach out a hand and grab you, and is going to attempt to inflict wounds.
Ooh,
on
that
you.
little bitch.
That's a 16 on the die for a 19 to hit.
That hits.
Sorry. Sort of.
No, you're not.
Not really.
So that is 6, 8, and 3, so 11 points of necrotic damage to you.
Oof.
And it was only cast at first level.
Still not happy about that.
Just to let you know, Dan, the cannon has hit points and stuff, so you can attack it if you want.
Okay. Good to know. Shouldn't have told me that. Thank you.
Hey, if it stops you attacking a friend.
They are going to stay prone. You will get an opportunity attack as they are going to try and jump back on the ground after grabbing you and trying to inflict wounds. They are going to kind of skirt back. You get an opportunity
Just out of curiosity,
attack,
because obviously he was prone, did you roll that attack at disadvantage? Because it's a touch spell attack.
Oh, thank you. Hold on. Boom. Arcane Cannon.
Ooh, gorgeous.
Ooh.
And you placed it there, right? Cool.
Yes, that's right.
It was with disadvantage.
Okay, cool.
So I rolled a 17 and a 16.
Oh, damn. Well, I'll roll my Warhammer.
Yeah, but it is with advantage because
Yes.
it is prone.
pretty sure that's going to hit because that is a 23. 22.
That will
I can't count. 22.
definitely hit. Definitely. Thank you very much for that token, Miko. That is beautiful.
You're welcome.
Yes, finally. That is 12 bludgeoning damage as the Warhammer just like comes down.
Amazing. I'm going to let you describe how you pummel this guy because that is going to be very, very nice. Unless you stretch your DM legs a little bit. How do you want to do this?
Well, annoyingly, I had a whole plan for my turn, which was I was going to make it like some witty repartee about that's big, but mine's bigger. I was going to hit him with Vampiric Touch. In this case, as he's scrambling away, I just wheel around with the Warhammer, and seeing him like on his back, sort of pushing himself away, you just see him like shake off from the Vampiric Touch, and his eyes narrow in that like spectral like skull still in front of his face. Baron Sandy's waiting. And I'm not going for a mercy kill here. I smash his legs.
Oh, you want him to die slowly?
Oh, like
Get him in the gut. It takes 20 minutes.
Backstory, yeah, if you'll allow it, it takes a couple of swings, but I just like mangle his legs. He is going to bleed out, and he is going to bleed out slowly.
Oh, I will allow it because that is excellent. I love this when this sort of thing happens. Amazing. Well, that is definitely the end of his turn and eventually the end of his life. So, start of the next turn. The wind.
I'm sure we won't kill all of these guys and something bigger will come.
I'm still waiting for whoever was making that crunching, dragging, scraping noise to walk through the portal.
Yeah.
Well, as the wind picks up. Oh, no, that's too big. It's not that big, I promise you. It's not that big. It is, however, you see that the wind, as this elemental-like creature forms in the middle of the battlefield, right next to the cannon.
I was kind of hoping for on top of, but hey-ho.
It's in its space, that's fine.
I was like, I have the storm, it'll be fine. No.
Okay. And it's going to move to here.
No.
And is going to make 2 attacks. One is going to be a slam attack against you, Hazy, which misses as it you kind of sidestep as this wind-like fist just crushes into the ground next to you. Yeah, sure, let's do this. And then it is going to use its whirlwind ability, which means each creature in the elemental space, meaning Jeremiah and Hazy, must make a DC, not telling you, strength saving throw. Please.
Okay.
Come on. Ooh, unnatural 20. Dice are turning around.
18.
Oh. Okay, so you both take half damage. So that's 9 plus 1, so that's 10. You both take 5 points of damage, and nothing else happens.
Yeah.
Because you managed to make the saves. Amazing.
As somebody who uses elementals quite liberally, I was kind of worried about that.
I think this is the second time in my DM career I've used an elemental, so I'm quite happy to use this. So yeah,
They're fun.
amazing.
Nice.
Illy, it's up to you.
Yeah.
Kill it.
I don't know how well I can do against wind.
Yeah, me either.
Hang on, I just need to measure something. I had an idea and then I had to rethink.
That's okay.
No, it's too far. For want of anything better to do, I'm gonna yeet one of my psychic blades at it and see what happens.
Amazing. Go ahead and roll to hit, please. Is that another natural 20? Let's go!
Hey.
That's them.
The different dice. I use a different dice every time.
Amazing. Okay, so that will definitely hit. What type of damage are you about to do?
It's psychic. This is why I'm not entirely sure. So that's 12, 24.
Okay, go ahead and...
That's 27 points of damage.
Oh, 27 points of damage, and then roll me a d20, please.
4.
4. Oh! Okay. Strike misses critical organs. Inflict a paltry 2d4 damage with this strike. So an additional 2d4 damage. No additional effects, but an additional...
Yeah, misses all those critical organs of that thing made of air.
That's another 4
Makes
points
sense.
of damage.
Another 4 points. Excellent. Like Chris said in chat, a win's a win.
Yep.
Excellent. So that's your action. Any bonus actions
And a
from your
wind's a
movement?
wind.
And since I seem to do something, bonus action, I'll send another at it.
Amazing. Go ahead and
That
roll
is
to hit.
only a 22 to hit.
Only a 22. Well, if it's
Yeah,
only a
only.
22, yeah, it still hits. Go ahead and roll me some damage, please.
And this is the bonus action one, so it's only a d4 as well. That is 5 points of damage. Psychic again.
5 points of psychic damage on that second hit. Amazing. Anything else on your turn? Any movement?
I'm gonna stay there, out of the way of things.
Okay, I'm just going to move that. Ooh, I like the next one. It's called The Eternal War. That sounds quite fitting, doesn't it? Grim, you're up.
All right. I think as my bonus action, I'm going to mentally command my good friend Benny to turn invisible and head off in the direction of the hiding bloke.
Okay, yeah.
Now, you had indicated that the winds were kicked up, and so that means his flying speed is reduced by half, right?
That's correct, yeah.
Okay. So he will only get to go 60 feet in total. Yeah, so he's basically hanging out next to the guy invisibly, waiting on him to move. And then for my action, I'm going to move back a little bit towards these crystalline pillars. And if you would permit, I would like to get a sense of whether or not, and if it takes my action, so be it, I would like to get a sense of this elemental creature, whether or not it's trying to protect the space or if it's just attacking us to attack us.
Okay, roll me an insight check. I'll allow this as a free action.
Okay, great. Only a 14. I'm gonna use my inspiration on it. Hang on.
Okay.
See if I do better. I did 19.
19. The impression you get is that this thing it's very much acting out of instinct and is protecting something, but the something you would assume would be the crystals and the space that you're in. But it is very much acting out of instinct, it seems, and just attacking everything and anything in its vicinity.
Okay. In that case, I think I am going to yell out to everyone, stop attacking it. It's just trying to protect its home. And in Orin, I'm going to attempt to speak to the elemental.
Okay.
In the language of air, and I'm going to attempt to calm it.
Okay.
I'm going to say, we're here to protect the crystals as well. You have no fear of us.
You are not welcome here.
Is what you hear back.
Okay.
What did it say?
It said to get the fuck out.
Oh, we'll get out of here when I'm done with these bastards.
Okay. So, that's your free action.
Oh, I assumed that was my whole action in attempting to intimidate it down, or, persuade it to come down. I have no action otherwise, so.
You're right. You're all right. Go ahead and roll me a persuasion check.
I'm using my inspiration on that natural one. Now I am out of inspirations. That's a dirty 20.
Dirty 20. You feel the wind around you subside slightly. And slow, so the speed of which the force of this wind is swirling around you seems to subside ever so slightly. Okay.
Great. Thanks, Ruth.
Anything else on your turn?
No, that's it for me.
Hazy.
Well, that's what ruined what I was going to do. I'll start by trying to move 5 feet away from it and see if the air elemental attacks me.
It does not at this point.
Cool.
It seems like its attention is firmly fixed on Grim right now.
5, 10, 15, 20. So I'm going to move around here so I can see the guy hiding behind the crystals.
Okay.
Stare him down, and since he is far enough away from me to be really fucking irritating, I'm instead going to use Sacred Flame. So I need a dexterity saving throw from him, please.
Okay. That is a natural one for fucking 3. So go ahead and roll me some damage, please. Oof.
Don't get to add anything to this. That is just 3 radiant damage.
3 radiant damage. Okay. Oh. This guy's looking really beat up now behind this rock. Benny communicates that to you swiftly, Grim.
And I'm just going to move. Ooh, that's. Give me that. I can't get my hammer. There it is. I'm just going to move my hammer a little bit away so that we're all sort of surrounding this thing in case it decides to have a go at us again.
Hey.
And he having cast spiritual weapon, reaching out his hand, that spectral energy glowing, will point at the one remaining guy here and go, "Come on, get over here and fight like a man."
Hey.
And that's his turn.
Okay. So it is his turn next. So he's going to move 5 feet. Benny will get an opportunity attack.
Opportunity attack, yeah.
Yeah.
So that is a 17 on the dice, plus 4, 21 to hit.
21 will definitely hit. Go ahead and roll me some damage.
Okay, he has to make a Constitution saving throw.
That is an 8 on the die.
He falls unconscious.
Oh, what did you do?
Oh, yeah!
He falls asleep. He falls
thing.
asleep.
Oh my god!
With
So
the
as you got your point in telling him to fight like a man, you see him rush to the edge, go to leap off and begin to cast a spell, and just fall off the edge of the island as he leaps to his own fate. As
he sees him like
cast...
begin to rush towards him, like plants himself like he's going to engage in combat, and then just sort of watches him fall, and he doesn't know how to feel about this.
Benny's just like floating there, just a couple of inches off of the ground, looking at all of us like.
As he looks at Benny, and just kind of goes. Salute, turn back to the air elemental.
Amazing. Haystack.
Yes.
You are up. This air
How long
elemental.
is that fall, by the way?
I can't tell
Infinite.
It is.
So
it is
an hour later, he
so
wakes
far in the
up.
sky.
He could still be. Yeah, he would still be awake. An hour later, he would still be falling.
An hour later, he wakes up falling.
Yeah. But he's gone. There is no recompense. He's falling down to the under earth, which we have not discovered yet. So, Haystack, you are up.
yeah, right.
You see the swirling
Grim shouted out that this thing's just trying to be like cool with us, right? Just trying to be a cool breeze.
Sure, you would probably take it that Grim shouted that this dude is just trying to be a cool breeze.
Dope. Okay. With nothing notched in his bow, the Haystack will just sort of look to Grim with like a calm smile of understanding, like, yeah, we can be all can be friends here, and is just going to move away from it, sort of 10 feet this way, sort of arms up, just cool, good vibes here, man. There's nothing. I'm not here to hurt your plane or your rocks or whatever. It's cool. We can be cool. Don't worry about it. And I'm just going to take the action. I'm just going to take the chill vibes action and just try and defuse situations.
Tell me what the chill vibes action. Just describe to me what that does.
I mean, it just like mellows the vibe of the whole place. Like, no one's really feeling particularly like aggressive anymore. Everyone just wants to get along. Like, this guy can just have us cool down a bit. It's been intense combat. We're a bit hot, you know. We can.
Yeah.
It's an automatic success. Calm emotions.
Yeah.
So I was going to say it's a cantrip form of calm emotions.
Yeah, I just cast chill vibes.
Okay.
But yeah, I will follow Grimm's sort of advice and just try and not do anything for the time being.
Okay. Jeremiah, you're up next on initiative.
Yeah, I will turn and give Hazy a big couple of thumbs up, and then try and skirt around this elemental and back away from it, sort of towards Haystack.
Okay.
And also do a chill vibes, and I'll be like,
and shout to the others, and I'm like, if we're leaving this elemental to its home, if we hop on through the portal, then I can probably destroy it and stop anyone else coming here with the cannon.
As you look back behind you, Jeremiah, the portal is inactive.
Oh no! Scratch that!
I
that's what my dad
see
used to say,
any
but,
controls.
So, it is the elemental's
the rest of my
turn.
movement to hop over there.
Sure, yeah, by all means, yeah, I'll allow it. But as you hop to
I'll
there,
hop over there,
that'll be
having it all look.
okay. Oh, I'm moving. Illy, I didn't mean to do that. The portal shows on the map that it's active, but it's not. So you want to take your action to investigate?
Yeah, let's go
see
with
what
that.
the crack is, yeah?
That's what I was
Okay.
doing.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead and roll me an investigation check.
It's a nat 20.
No!
Yes.
Okay.
I changed this dice and it made all the difference.
Okay, so the difference between this portal and the one that you came through is that, as you can see depicted on the map itself, these veins kind of shoot up and around and kind of all over the rock that makes up this portal. And where the rest of the island, where these veins are, it is giving this slight glow. There is no glow within the veins of this portal bit. But you do not see any...
It's all working, it's just not getting any power.
Yeah, but you don't see any pedestal, you don't see any, gimbals or anything like that to be able to get this thing on.
Okay.
Okay. Any bonus actions from me?
Interesting. I don't think there's much I can do other than shoot the cannon, which isn't going to be particularly useful right now. No, nothing.
Okay. You... At the end of your round, it is now the Storm Elemental's turn. You all feel the wind pick up once again, but at a vicious speed, hitting 20-ish mile an hour as the wind all around you begins to swirl, and it is hard to stay footed. I need a dexterity saving throw from everybody.
Why did I go to the edge?
Dexterity saving throw.
And as
I'm
this
using my
creature
inspiration.
Yeah, me too.
goes
These are
back
mine.
towards the middle of the island, go ahead and tell me what you rolled.
15.
15. Jeremiah?
11.
11. Illy?
It wasn't that one,
24.
so
24 from Illy. Haystack?
Nat dirty 20.
Nat dirty 20. Love
No,
that.
dirty 20. I don't know why I said nah. I meant dirty 20.
Excellent.
14 plus 6.
Cool. Grim?
18.
18. Unfortunately, Jeremiah, the wind, just due to your short stature more than anything, and the less grip that you have, and the center of mass and everything, you just topple over
that's
and begin
actually, that's
to
not
roll.
right.
Oof.
Taller people would have more of a problem.
That's fine, but in this case, you topple over and
vouch for that.
you boof and roll over, and you crash into one of the shards next to you.
Ow!
Minimal damage of a d4 that I've just thrown off my dice tray. 1 second. 2 points of damage as you hit and crash into this sky shard crystal, but you all see the mass of this elemental grow and grow.
Oh.
And you see at its center, its mass begins to become more opaque. That's right, isn't it?
Yep.
Transparent, opaque. Yep, thank you. English, I know things. And as it grows, it becomes more and more opaque and swirls and grows and grows. And as it dissipates, what is left in its place, not that big.
Oh, jeez.
It's a strong giant.
This huge, hulking, like mammoth-sized giant creature.
Spinning on the spot.
Just doing a little pirouette.
Before it stops suddenly, after spinning and swirling, it stops and stands 30 feet tall, staring down at you all.
Trespassers, mortals who dare tread on my sacred domain, heed my words. For
They're actually
I
trying to leave.
am
Don't interrupt.
Tempest incarnate, the roaring fury of the skies. Speak now as to the meaning of your presence here, or be gone from this world in a flash.
Hazy slams the butt of the warhammer down, bows. I'm assuming, based on the description, that this is some sort of avatar of Zephyron or Zephyrion.
Okay.
So he does bow to him and says, "We travelled here following a prophecy of some form. Here we found people of the Solasta nation stealing from your realm. We have dispatched them. Now we only wish to return to our plane. At your leave," and bows deeply. He's still very angry, but he's also not stupid enough to try and pick a fight with a god.
You know who might be?
All of a sudden, the ship's cat launches itself at Zephyrion.
We have the weapon all the time!
Be that
Show
as
someone the
it
secret
may.
weapon!
But how, being such fragile beings, audacious in your ignorance, defiant in your folly, dare step upon this earth? How am I to feel if your words ring true?
And he is going to insight check you.
I didn't lie.
No. Go ahead and roll me a
Depends
persuasion
whether he
check
believes
then.
you.
Oh, I shouldn't have spoke up. Yeah. 17?
I have seen the torment of Solasta. Its reaching tendrils sickening this world. I have heard tale of its master, this sultan that defies even the skies itself. They pittance their worship towards me, but purely to send their armadas for death upon other nations. And you dispatch them.
Aye, as I would any soldier of Solasta that I should fall upon.
And it is with gratitude that I must meet you. Tell me, what is it you seek here?
He is, up until this point, he was all like reverence and sort of doing the cleric thing. When you ask, like, what do we want here? I just kind of like, there's that moment of like, yeah, what the fuck did we want here? And I sort of like look through his legs to the rest of the party who's still on the other side of the island. Like, what do we want?
I just like gesture at Illy, like,
Ellie knows.
And look at Illy.
You just see Haystack shrugging his head.
He very gracefully bows. Well, mighty lord of the Tempest, we were attacked by pirates. We took their ship from them, and their captain was abusing their crew through your marvelous skies, in search of your lands, following a prophecy. And, well, frankly, we were curious, and we probably owe people a lot of money because we lost a very expensive cargo, and it mentioned treasure, so we thought maybe we could find a tiny pittance to take back with us. But quite frankly, I think we would be most graciously accept our lives, and maybe if our captain could tell me how many crystals were on our ship, keeping it afloat, if we could perhaps have the use of 3 crystals and be returned to our ship so that we may save the lives of the good crew who have sailed with us, that we may return them safely to their port.
You have asked of 3 things of me. Treasure, your lives, and crystals. Your lives are your own to do with as you wish, but you may only ask of one other thing. If it is within my power to grant, I shall. For I owe you a debt for dispatching the evil.
Crystals. Or a ship, or a new ship.
Lord of the Tempest, if I could offer up something in exchange for the 2 things that you have warranted we choose from. My companions may have come here for one reason, but I came for another. I came to stay and to honor your service and to protect this place from those that would do it harm. And he kind of just gestures at the dead body on the ground not too far off with the pulverized legs. If I could stay here and give myself to you and your service, could my companions return to the good crew from which we saved with the crystals necessary to see them home aright?
You speak of good intent, but what makes you believe that you are worthy to be my champion, the guardian of this place? If I wish it so, then it will be, but you must first prove yourself worthy of the title. Come now.
I sought not to destroy the Tempest. I sought to parley with it. When everyone else was afeared, I saw honor and a desire to protect the home, which resonates deeply within me. And while I may not be as skilled as some of my companions here in their craft, or their weapon, or their magic, I make up for that with my honor.
You
I'm not a
see,
damn good cook.
make me a persuasion check, please. You can have advantage with
I
that.
can make a hell of an omelet.
Do you like eggs?
I will use my last spell slot for borrowed knowledge for this.
Excellent.
Oh my god, it's so bad. That's a 9.
I have an inspiration.
Do you have inspiration?
Yeah,
I
I
used
think
all of
you
mine.
did. Oh.
Could I give the help action as a cleric?
I already had the advantage.
Already had advantage, yeah.
Did you use the one I gave you in chat?
No, I did not.
So you still have inspiration then if you would like to use it, because I believe that Ruth gave you inspiration from chat.
That only brings it to an 11, though.
Your heart. You speak, as I say, with good intent, but does it hold true to the word that comes and echoes from this place? That is yet to be seen. First, a test.
If I'm not worthy, may I die in honor then.
You see this huge creature with the sword on its shoulder raise the sword up and swing down. Not directly at you, but to the right hand side of you, but 5 feet. And this thing's going down towards the ground next to you. What do you do?
I don't move.
The sword crashes into the crystals that are placed next to you. And he lifts it up and just turns and goes,
I thought you said you wished to protect this place. More lies! You wish for its death and destruction like all those that came before.
Lord, you're the one who caused the destruction. There's no way that a man such as myself could stand in the way of a sword of that size and protect the crystals beneath it.
To not try is to fail all the same.
is there anything anybody wants to do at this point as this exchange is happening?
I want to move my cannon away.
Okay. I'm going to turn this
It
dude
can
around.
only move 15 feet though, so it doesn't go very far. But just like 15 feet to the south or away, or like maybe slightly west away from it. I don't think I can.
Okay.
Oh no, I'm just on the wrong button. Can I move it? I'm not sure.
No, you can't move it. It's
You
GM controlled right now.
Yeah,
I will
just move it away.
1 second.
I don't know if it.
There you go. You can move it. You can move it.
Oh, thank you very much.
You see
Yeah, I'll just
this
move it 1, 2, 3, like over here.
this large giant like form kneel down and almost kind of kneel in towards you, Grim, and turns and goes,
If you so wish it, then you may stay. But that will be but the first test of many. Only stay if you're prepared to face the torrents and the storms that I control.
And you hear crashes of lightning and thunder echo all around. Grim, what do you do?
Grim just stands there staring straight into his eyes, unfazed by the lightning and the storms going around, and nods his head slowly, pointing his eyes towards the ground.
You see him reach out a hand and hold it a foot or two away, and you feel this pull and push at the same time, as if your body is shifting and changing, and the very fabric of your being is being reconstructed somewhat. And as the rest of you look towards Grim, you see Grim begin to levitate ever so slightly off the ground, and the air begin to swirl around their legs until their legs become the very air itself, as they begin to get this gaseous air swirling vortex of energy form as you begin to hold yourself levitating 5 feet above the ground. From the waist down, you are just this gaseous form swirling in place, Grim.
Now, the rest of you may leave this place. Take your crystals and go. Never return. Leave while the storm allows it. I am a generous being. Not only is it the storm and the air and wind that I control, but freedom itself. And freedom is what you have been granted.
And you see him go, and the sword embeds into the ground. It starts to shift and shake beneath your feet. Not yours, Grim. You don't feel this at this point, being levitated, obviously. But the ground...
And not having feet.
And not having feet, obviously, yeah. But the ground begins to shift and crack and tremble beneath your feet. Jeremiah, as you kind of like look under, like between your legs, you see this shot of arcane energy shoot through the veins and up through the portal as it crackles, and the portal itself opens.
Let thunder be your guide from this day forth. Depart my realm. For in the heart of the storm there is no mercy. Not again.
What do you guys want to do?
He gives a quick bow and goes and jumps through the portal.
Mm-hmm. Just
Bow-
looks to... You go. You always do this.
Bow deeply and only pick up 3 loose crystals. I'm not going to damage any. I'm going to pick up ones he's already broken, and I'm only going to take the 3 that we asked for because that's what we needed.
Okay.
I'm not going to take the rip. And you are indeed a gracious and mighty Lord. Thank you. And through the portal.
Okay.
I'll look back at Grim, with the little sad look, but I'll just wink at him, and then I will like go to hop through the portal and then turn around to the storm herald and just go,
Oh, by the way,
and point at the cannon.
I rigged that to blow.
Up through the portal.
Okay.
It's not something I can mechanically do. It's a bluff, but
Okay, yeah. Okay. I kind of panicked there for a minute.
Way to make an enemy of the storm god.
Okay, Haystack.
Yeah, as Jeremiah says that, he'll just sort of, with a slightly dreamy smile, just look towards Graham. He's like, I don't know if they mean that or not, but you may want to sort that out. You're going to be okay in here? It seems like a weird thing you're doing now. It's cool, but like, you have no legs. Did you miss him?
Grim just floats over to Haystack, extends out a hand towards him to shake.
He shakes back.
And then as they're shaking hands, Haystack feels claws up his back, and Benny perches on Haystack's shoulder. And he just looks at you and says, "Take good care of him." And you're not sure if he's talking to you or if he's talking to Benny.
As Grim says that, he'll sort of look to it and give a little scratch on the chin and goes, "We'll take care of each other. Don't worry. He's in good hands."
Oh, and don't forget the cat.
Oh God! I'm trying to see the cat.
The cat's just on the
Hiding
on
in
the
the
side of
corner of
the
the portal.
holding on, all four legs gripping onto it, going,
Oh, it's like
Just-
claws into the rock. Like,
yeah.
As the little pseudo dragon jumps onto his shoulder, Haystack reaches into his cloak and pulls out one of the few jars of honey that remain and just sort of holds it up to Grim and goes, "For the road, you may want some tarts. And I don't know when you're gonna get good honey again."
Just reaches down and take it. Thank you, my friend. Look after all of them. They're going to need it.
Oh, I know. I'm the most sensible one there. I'll keep them all out of trouble. Don't worry. And hey, and as he sort of like leaps over and sort of moves towards the portal, I'll look on the horizon for you sometime. Hope to see you again.
Just because of clouds.
I like looking at clouds. I'll do that. And just into the portal.
You all step through the portal. Grim, you are stood watching your friends leave this place. And you feel not a hand, but a presence behind you as you turn. And this avatar as Zephyrian turns and goes,
That is one of the most courageous things a mortal can do. Saying farewell to loved ones. There is hope for you yet, my guardian.
We cut to Jeremiah, Hazy, Haystack, and Illy as you step through the portal, 3 crystals in hand. You do not appear back on the island that you entered the portal initially. You appear in a desert.
Oh no.
The sun beating down on your backs and your heads. A distant oasis on the horizon. With 3 sky shard crystals and the crew of your ship nowhere in sight. There is nothing but sand for miles around.
Looking to the sky and the sun, where is it in the sky at the moment? Is it like overhead midday? Like
just
impressive?
after. It's around midday. It's hard to tell.
Yeah.
Oh no, you have an ability that gets you the time specifically, right?
Yep.
Yeah, it's 1:15 in the afternoon.
Presumably we have no teleport disc behind us like the one we went through.
There is, but it is completely.
Oh.
There is a portal there, but there is no energy from it. It seems dormant, and you are all stood together with minimal rations in the middle of a desert.
This oasis you talked about, you said it was off in the distance. Is that if I were to get the spyglass out and try and gauge distance, would I be able to figure out how far it is?
Sure. It's probably going to be a 2 hours walk.
is like how sort of common is this sort of environment? Like, is it reasonable to assume that we are now within the lands of Solasta here?
It is reasonable to assume that you are on the Isle of Nimbusi, in the desert oasis of Nimbusi.
That would make sense. I think we all went to Solasta and were like, oh no. Okay.
Oh,
slightly less terrible.
But as we draw this story to a close for now, we may pick this up sometime in the future. Is there anything anybody within the four of you would like to do before we zoom out on your characters marching across this desert wasteland?
I would like to take the, by this point, very battered and torn captain's hat that's too big for me that I've been wearing the entire time, falling over my eyes. And I take it off and frown for a second. And then I'm just going to drape it somewhere on the dead teleport portal and take a step back, nod. And then turn around and go, right.
What are we doing then? Off that way? That way? That way?
Yeah, I
That way?
think that oasis is only about 2 hours away, and it's probably our best port of call, so...
I could do with a drink.
You say that as Hazy is pulling out his hip flask, unscrewing it. You see, just after that combat, the cigar is down just to the last bit, just taps off the last of the ash, flicks it into the desert, takes a draw from the rum. Hey, looks like we've got a long walk ahead of us.
It's so hot.
Well, I've got plenty of walking songs.
And as Jeremiah bursts into song, the four of you begin trekking across the desert plains of Nimbusi. Destination unknown, adventure yet to be had. We're going to draw this to a close here. Thank you, all of you, for coming along this mad adventure. It's been amazing. It's been really, really fun. I've not been firing on all cylinders tonight, but as I preface this with all of you, I've had 3 hours sleep. So there we are. But I hope that you've all enjoyed that. Thank you, everyone at home, for watching. But please stick around for a little bit, because I want you all to take some notes, because we're going to find out more information. I want to know, we're going to come to each of you. I want you to plug your channels, tell us about some upcoming events, tell us where we can find more of your content, and we will then bid farewell to you guys for now. Miko, do you want to start us off?
Sure. Hi, everyone. I am Miko, otherwise known as the OKS GM. I am a co-founder over at Folk and Myth, where I run games, make games, produce games, play games, and all the things associated to games. Please feel free to come and check us out at folkandmyth.com or on our Twitch channel, Folk and Myth, or at any of the various socials that we've got going on. Also, ironically, Folk and Myth. We've got all kinds of games coming up in the future. We've got a pretty busy week ahead of us, including Blade Runner and Vaesen and Dragonbane and all kinds of cool stuff, not the least of which is also my own homebrew D&D game run on Wednesday nights. And yeah, please come by and give us a shout.
Amazing. Thank you. And from me especially, thank you very much for coming and joining us again. Miko, you are always welcome at my table. So thank you very much again for joining us. Chloe, where can we find you in the near future? What any podcasts or live streams or things upcoming?
Yeah. Well, hi, I'm Chloe, also known as Chloe with the Flow. You can find me on Deck of Many Aces, the only actual play podcast made with actual asexuals. And you can also find the music that I write for that on all of the music streaming platforms. I'm also on A Rendezvous with Destiny, which is a podcast where we look at lesser known TTRPGs, and we're coming to a close of our Bite Marks campaign currently. Not only that, you can find me on Bowie's and Spelljammer, which is on the Roleplay Factory on YouTube, where we all played David Bowie, but in space. And I played the Goblin King. It was great. I mostly went around just not understanding how mortals worked, which was fun. Yeah, I'm also an actor, singer, and all of these things. I'm actually, surprisingly, doing actually doing a job where the public can watch next month in July. So if you have a look, it might be coming near you. It's called The Unusual Adventures of Robin Hood. If you see it, it's gonna be me. Come and see. It'll be fun.
Amazing. Thank you very much. And Chloe, thanks so much for joining us. There is going to be many opportunities for you to come and join us at this table again anytime. Just you tell me when you're free, because you have a very busy schedule. So you let me know when you're free and we'll try and get you on as a guest again. Jordan, where can we find you? What have you got coming up?
So, as I said before, I'm DM, producer, editor of Modified Role Podcast. We are still, at the minute, keeping to our current schedule, releasing every 2 weeks. We have more of our guest episodes coming this week. I say that because after this long weekend I've had, this Friday's episode is not even started yet. Yay!
Yay!
The pain.
It'll be out this weekend, worst case scenario. But yeah, we've got that. Like I say, we've got also the AP UK, unfortunately, as you mentioned earlier, John, very selfishly having a baby. We have, he has been our producer for the stream. He did try to get a few of us trained up. The problem is that most of us have been also just really busy as well. So while 3 of us can now run the stream, none of us have the time to run the stream. But we're hoping to get a few more games in at some point, as soon as we can get something scheduled. But we do have most of the videos from our streams are up on YouTube. So if you want to go and see some of the amazing actual play talent in the UK, go and check that out. Also, nearly forgot, it's not a big part, but myself, Pete, and a few other people from the AP UK cast have been invited to do guest voices on the Transmissions podcast as part of the Black Teeth podcast series. I am voicing weirdly, having come off of this playing a cleric, voicing a priest in that. It has been very interesting. It's been Sky has done an amazing job with all of the editing. It sounds fantastic. We're actually meant to be recording a little special recording where all of the guest voices are going to get together to play a very short game, whereas up until now we've very much been just voicing NPC, so the guys go and record their game and then Sky comes and gets us to record audio. But apparently people have liked the voices so much, she's like, well, do you guys want to come and actually play? I was like, yeah, sure, why not? So
I also voice a concerned mother.
No,
Chloe isn't everything currently. She is also one of the guests on the series of our episodes that are coming out currently, so she's everywhere. But then, I don't normally shout out on these streams and stuff, but as you mentioned as well, I'm also a professional DM. So if anyone is looking for a professional DM for any reason, hit up Rolldark. It is a agency for professional GMs in the UK. We have people up and down the UK if you're looking for an in-person game, or there are constantly online games running. My current online campaign is currently on a break between arcs, but I will be picking up a new one hopefully starting later this month. So,
amazing.
That's all of my stuff.
Amazing, thank you, and it's a pleasure having you here, Jordan. I love every time that you and I, because we very rarely get to do this, so when we do, it's like, yay! So we're going to have to find more opportunities to do this in future.
Definitely.
Absolutely. Ruth, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself? Where can we find any of your content, if you make content, and if you're doing falconry content, where can we find that, all that fun stuff?
Yep, so I'm Ruth, I'm falconer for Le Manoir et 4 Saisons. So I'm... don't have much content. Instagram is the place to find me. Our Legate Falconer. I put stuff out there. If I'm doing anything, it will be on there. I did remember, I got reminded that 7 years ago I filmed a documentary with Jason Kingsley of Rebellion Games. So if you want to have a real laugh, go on Modern History TV, and there is a documentary I did with him about medieval falconry, where I pretended I knew anything about medieval falconry for over an hour.
Nice.
Whilst hiding behind my emotional support hawk, Ember. Yeah, I will hopefully pop up in streams in the future. None of the games that I'm in are currently streamed games. There's a chance that might be changing. I'm speaking to a friend of mine who has a streamed game. And yeah, mostly I will be found plugging these guys and liking their stuff, because all of these guys create amazing content, and at the end of the day, liking and sharing is the way to support them without any cost. So that's what I can do from my usual side of the screen.
Oh, amazing. Thank you so much for your kind words. Ruth, you are definitely we're not going to see the last of you. We're going to get you in on some content in the near future as well. So thank you very much.
Can
Dan,
I also say that Ruth was being very unfair to herself in that the photos she does put up on her Instagram of her falconry are all stunning and they are very beautiful birds to look at, and I quite like seeing them appear in my feed.
Yep, go do that. Go support, go follow for more excellent falconry imagery.
I was going to bring one tonight, but Florence has been a very naughty girl and she's in timeout at the minute.
Oh.
She decided to try and trash some of her equipment, so I'm fixing it and she's in free loft at the minute, so I couldn't bring her and have her on stream tonight.
Oh, damn. Well, we'll have to find another opportunity to do that, won't we?
Yeah.
Dan, thank you so much for doing this as well. Where can we see more of your face?
I know I'm as everywhere as everywhere else, but no, my face will always be here. My content is this content, as well as it being Dan's content as well. We are Tales on Tap. We are always streaming on Tuesdays, always trying to do our best, always trying to get into the world of D&D content creation because we love this game and we love what we do. So if you want to see more of me, don't know why you would, but if you want to see the better players and the good DM, come to see us, come onto all our links, go look at our stuff, like our stuff, just, do the thing you want to do and come watch some D&D with us because we like it and so do you.
Amazing. Thanks very much, Dan. Appreciate that. So we are just about tapping out for the evening. Don't go anywhere. We are going to be raiding Roll Together RPG. We finally get the opportunity to raid them for once. They've raided us every week for the last 6 weeks and we've not been able to do it back. So we're going to go and do that to show some love there. But this VOD, if you have missed any of it, will be live on our YouTube channel on Sunday. If you are stopping by, make sure you hit subscribe. Do all the fun things on YouTube. You'll find all of our back catalogue of episodes. That's Errol on a Destined Journey, the Fallen campaign, plus all our one-shots. We also have a podcast, so if you want to listen to us on the go, anywhere you cast your pods, you'll be able to find us. We break our episodes down into 2 bite-sized chunks, so it's easier for you guys to keep track of where you are. We have some fun things upcoming. We have a new website, so if you want to find out more stuff, go to talesontap.co.uk. You can follow us on all the socials, and yeah, we'll be back on Tuesday next week for episode 24? 24 of Errol on a Destined Journey. And then on the 2nd of July, we have Errol Sins of the Peacekeeper, where I get to play a game again. Yay for me! I get to be a player again. Chris is going to step into the DM seat for about a 6-month-ish campaign because I'm also very selfish and having a baby. So if you want to catch that, make sure you follow all of the social media because all the promo stuff is coming out very, very soon for that. I know that people are dying to see what Chris has cooked up. I certainly am. I can't wait to share it with all of you, so make sure you keep your eye on the horizon for that. And that is about all we've got time for tonight. So once again, thank you to all of our guests tonight for coming and playing with us. Thank you guys at home. Stick around because, as I say, we are going to raid Roll Together RPG. They are an amazing content creation group, but as I say, and I typically do at the end of all of our streams now, before we do tap out, remember guys, it's not about the destination, it's about the journey. So enjoy it. Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
That's not the thank you for watching screen. Told you, hard drive troubles. Anyway, goodbye.